A pilot stands before you. Respect is due. No, nothing. Let us begin. A pilot stands before you. Respect is due. No, nothing. Let us begin. A pilot stands before you. Respect is due. No, nothing. Let us begin. A pilot stands before you. Respect is due. No, nothing. Let us begin. A pilot stands before you. Respect is due.
Good morning, Major. My damn throat. I'm about hoarse.
Let us begin. A pilot stands before you. Respect is due. No, nothing. Let us begin. A pilot stands before you. Respect is due. No, nothing. Let us begin.
Good morning, y'all. What's up, Juicy? I am so hoarse. Well, not hoarse. Kinda hoarse, but my damn throat is fucking killing me. Up yelling at the goddamn twins this morning.
Begin. A pilot stands before you.
They got me fucking hoarse as hell. You can, yeah, my damn kids this morning at 6 o'clock this morning upstairs fighting over the bathroom. Mind you, it's 3 bathrooms in the house.
Respect is due.
I don't even know if I got. I know I gotta see if I got some tea downstairs.
Let us begin.
And I'm up here yelling, fighting over the bathroom. I'm at 6:30 this morning. It wasn't even 6:30. It was like 6:15 this morning.
No, nothing.
I'm up here. I'm yelling. I'm up here screaming and cussing at them. All I hear was thump thump. I'm like, what the fuck is this sound?
Respect is due.
They up here arguing. Then next thing I know, I heard somebody hit somebody, and they was in that bathroom scrapping.
Let us begin.
They was in the bathroom scrapping, baby. All I seen was bonnets. I said, if y'all don't motherfucking stop fighting over a fucking bathroom. Justice, she was in the bathroom getting ready, and I just had to pee. I'm like, Justice, why you didn't go downstairs and pee? I'm like,
For you. Respect is due.
baby, my mind, I was screaming so motherfucking loud. I scared Joy, because Joy was looking in the bathroom trying to see what the fuck was going on too. Me and Joy sleep. You fucking up our sleep.
Stands before you. Respect is due.
I'm like, why you just didn't go downstairs? When she was just there, she wasn't even using the bathroom. I'm like, but girl, I'm like, y'all doing too. It's 6 o'clock in the motherfucking morning. Now here I am, hoarse as fuck. Y'all have sleep, man. Listen, but it's 3 I can see if that was the only bathroom.
White still trying to finesse this area, looking for some way to get them off the roof, but with that Valcolt already...
She could have made it downstairs. That's the got you. She could have made it downstairs.
That a Valcolt that audacious does
all that arguing they was doing and fighting, you gonna piss on yourself if you had to pee that bad.
They were able to survive this encounter, and fortunately enough, make their way out once again. It may not be the ideal rotation, not what they were looking for, but it's going to have to.
And I had just told her that yesterday because she had, when they came home from school yesterday, I don't know if who was in here, but she was at the door and she was like, Journey, you in the bathroom? And Journey was like, yeah. She was like, well, I gotta pee. I was like, Justice, just go downstairs and pee. What's up? You was, first of all, you were downstairs and came upstairs to pee. That don't make no sense. Like, if you had to pee, you just use the bathroom that was already downstairs.
It's the entrance and the exit of Command Center.
Oh my gosh.
Currently, let's see, France.
So that's why my damn throat sound the way it do. Like,
different rotation from Disguise that doesn't quite go that well. Go next, we're starting to rotate in, and I don't believe they'll be able to find the last couple of hits on the Trident. But Disguise, they played with fire. They got burned, but they're still up.
That's really
it don't make sense at
all.
all.
Getting their heels back up. I'd love to check in and see
that's why I went, when I woke up and I dropped Joy off, I went and lay back down. I was like, well, I know Esme said it started at 10 today, but I'm gonna have to get on a little later because you done fucked my whole sleep up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Y'all in here arguing.
I think we just have to walk it. We could play for Waterfall and then just play our side up with Digis, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, we'll just have to do that. Maybe they're not here and you guys can get purples.
So that's how my morning went.
Yeah. We have 2 evacs. Let's see where they evac. Can you look at them? Careful they're not riding up here.
Yeah, there's lots of fences right here.
That way calls to me. Oh, never mind, darlings.
The twins fighting at 6 o'clock in the morning over a bathroom.
Yeah, I think
when it's 3.
And we hear what they're thinking about, but all I hear are some dupes in the crowd. We've got some Disguised fans, that's for sure. Pioneers, though, they're positioning themselves inside the wall, hedging.
Listen, all I seen was both of them throwing haymakers in the bathroom. All I seen was bonnets. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like yelling to the top. Mind you, I'm downstairs, yelling to the top of my motherfucking lungs.
To be able to survive, especially if we're still in outside the zone. We've already used a Gibby bubble, and just like that, DSG making waves.
It's going to be a real battle in the crowd because MDY have a lot of support. What they don't have is their Gibraltar, but in a 2 versus 1 situation, Disguised go down and MDY claim another victim.
You know, utilizing so many.
Yes, they was fighting each other in the bathroom over one bathroom because one wanted to pee while the other one was in the bathroom getting ready.
That is what MDY needs, especially when they are so close to that.
Justice, well, I was in the bathroom first. Justice had to pee. She was in the bathroom first. Journey came in the bathroom to get ready, which wash her face, brush her teeth. You know what I'm saying? Justice, well, I just had to pee. But Justice, if you just had to pee, you could just went downstairs to the half a bathroom. Where's the toilet for you to go pee? And let her get the other bathroom while she getting ready, brushing her teeth and washing her face. And like, it's so simple. Now I'm over here hoarse.
And the quick shift that can occur in
Justice trying to stand her motherfucking ground, Journey standing her ground. Neither one of them backing down, baby. I'll let them argue for a minute, y'all, before I got the fuck up. I ain't get up until I started hearing them footsteps and like, hey, they fighting. I said, oh shit, they up here throwing down.
These are the barriers, and big barriers that they have to overcome to actually win a game.
MDY White, they've already made it towards Command Center, getting poked and
now I think I got some tea there. I know I got I ain't drinking that tea. Hell no, I'll be on the toilet.
As well, recently, J-Lings had already been here, but nowhere to be seen thus far. And as Riddle inches ever so closely to MDY White, this is a likely fight
at 6 o'clock this morning, y'all.
Be a slow play.
I mean, I'm asleep. Me and Joy, we both looking because we both have me and Joy. We sleep in a little later than the twins. I'm sitting here like, what the fuck? Yes, Esme, at 6 o'clock this morning. That's why I was like, I gotta lay back down because my throat was feeling worse than it is now. Like it feel a little bit better now than it did when I first got up to take Joy to school because I took Joy at 8.
One of the best Valkyrie ults in the game. Unfortunately, it's into the midst of so many teams, and when everybody starts setting up, you're going to get pushed on. Instantly, Watson Generator is down and destroyed. The Jailings, as a duo, now have nowhere they can go.
That is so unfortunate, getting picked apart as Fnatic wants to
We were wondering
capitalize
why
on
ass
their
wasn't up.
already weakness. They will get some KP
Yeah,
from that,
I
but
was
not
up at
before
8,
your
and then I
veteran is
came,
able
after
to
I dropped
grab
Joy off,
one.
I came
This
back and
building
laid back
that
down
Nerf
because my
protection
motherfucking
is
throat
that
was
had
on
they
fire.
claimed early on will typically be a game-winning spot for them should they be able to.
And I was like,
maintain
then
their
my
still
alarm, I had
17
set my
squads in the
alarm for
lobby, and teams
11.
like
I was like,
100
okay, I'm
Thieves
gonna get on
trying
by
to make
11
it in,
o'clock.
and just like that,
11 will
Area
be cool.
310 pushing up on them, and Scurry's already fallen.
So.
Once you lose your Gibraltar, you lose so much more than almost any other legend because of the instant reset that he otherwise allows.
Okay.
Area 310, they know this. They know they've got the numbers and have taken out the cornerstone of the team. And look for the finish. Hemlock's gonna do it, and 100 Thieves go down.
Come on, hit me.
Area 310 looking strong
Who
here.
played?
Unfortunate
This
for
the first
100
group
Thieves
of the
to
day?
Not be able to rack up too many points this game. Map number 3, and GO Dogma is down. But
So
they do have
Aurora,
the
I
natural
did see
update
that because I was up
for
this
Price
morning. Like I
trying to
said,
get
I was
down
up this
there
morning,
and
but
get
then I went back to
Dogma
fucking
back.
sleep.
But this is gonna be
So
tough because
Aurora
Go Next is a
took
team
off their
underneath.
one of their thirds and placed it
Spot as
with
well.
their
They're
sub.
standing up on the
Oh
wall.
shit!
Go, no nade connects.
Oh
Go
shit!
Next. They
Oh
certainly do.
shit!
That is a clean finish from Go Next. From pick to ultimate squad wipe. They did pretty well, and this could
Okay, so yeah, this game 3 for the day.
be their
Okay.
return to form. Riddle's low-risk play style has net them in a high-risk position, playing on the middle ground of a slope and being harassed on both sides.
It's really tough, but they made it ever so much closer towards that next zone, and Element 6 have found them in a situation where they need to prioritize getting Swinny back up. Your Fuse can apply that pressure with the Knuckle Clusters, get that ultimate available, because imagine it's going to come in clutch for this zone. The free cam shot kind of outlining where our teams are positioning themselves. FC Destroyed, though, they've got a long haul, and they've got about 1:12 to figure out how they're going to get there.
They have a couple of nades. There we go, just to pressure out the squad behind them. Fortunately enough, FC Destroy have a bit of range and, importantly, a Gibraltar. It's going to be crucial for them on the next rotate, if they can even make it that far. Element 6's move into zone may not be great. Element 6's gatekeeping a spot like this with Fuse, that is on another level.
Kick was
Honestly,
doing
at
good
this
this morning,
point,
really?
take as many eliminations as you can get. Kick will take out Aurora just off screen. They were positioned on the fence line outside of wall towards the eastern side.
So they would rather
Now
play as a
overtaken, but
duo
FC Destroy still
than to
inside
play
this
with the
building.
third
30
that they
seconds
flew
until they're
and
gonna
paid
force
to
out
come
their
play.
able
That is
to
fucking
grab it, not
ridiculous.
onto a member of Pulverex. It's gonna be F-Chan and FDY White.
Because it would only be an emergency as if they third
Taking out
couldn't
Pulverex
play.
as well, an impressive
Like he took
feat.
sick
Zone
or
squad
something,
was
you know.
unable to ultimately rotate into zone. This catalyst wall usage, though, is arguably devastating, with no big cooldown and clearly needing a reset.
So they
FC
saying that the
Destroy,
one
they
dude
know
is the
exactly
reason why they
what's
didn't
going
have no
on. Use their
synergy.
own Gibraltar bubble to come in and finish off a squad. You can honestly leave this for dead, because now it's time to prioritize the rotation into zone. We're already starting to close in. Remember,
is
you've got to go
crazy,
through
like-
the final boss of Element 6.
I feel so bad for the dude that came. Like, you done flew me way the fuck out here to sit on the side? Like, that don't even make sense.
FC Destroy, though, with the zone at their back, are climbing up that hill. They cannot stop here. The final boss
I mean,
is
but a
falling.
third
It
is better
time
than a
to
duo,
engage in battle.
Ahmad,
The
especially in
evacuation
here.
tower is the last hope from
This zone
K-Swinny's
hurts.
Knuckle Cluster.
This is bad. One
I'd rather
bullet
have a
in the air
third
would
that at
take
least
out
got
their
some
Gibraltar,
comms
making their
than,
landing all
you
the
know.
less safe.
Oh, Peanut.
Where will FC Destroy go? They managed to land just in the nick of time underneath the bridge, but they're split. Yuka makes it with 25 HP. While Riddle go down, 8 teams left. We get another defensive catalyst wall, and somehow FC Destroy are alive.
Not sure if they'll have enough time. Hopefully they'll have ult excels to get that Dark Veil
Yeah,
back
that's
up.
fucked
Should
up.
a team push? But now, as Riddle Order has fallen and these teams have
Yeah, I
found
had seen that
themselves
this
with a
morning. I was
priority
like, what the
position
hell?
in zone, they do have a gibby. They need to get
I
that
was
bubble
reading
to
on that.
the
Hey,
cooldown zone
Benjamin.
in case something happens, they can hold
goddamn.
out. Fnatic on the left-hand side of your screen and Element 6 have cleared out the backs, and they just need to fight. But playing the high ground, I know it's going to open them up, but as long as they can smoke out everyone, and K-Swinny doing a lot of damage, not necessarily going to take them down, but Tyler
Drops.
FGS,
This is
he gets
bad.
one, he
Complexity
gets
or
one.
lair. Element 6 hit the floor
I
and
do got
dropped
some
like
lifting tea
flies.
downstairs. I
Complexity
should.
were waiting here the whole time, and finally
It's
popped up to
risking it.
collect a
Hell
little
yeah,
bit
it's
of
risking
KP.
it.
This This is a top 5
Like, instead of
situation that
talking to
Complexity
him,
will find themselves
and
in.
then
They
they
just
message
have to
him in a
survive this couple of
Discord
points, but
message I
Monsoon
seen.
does get caught out, forced to retreat.
Come on, Complexity.
Smoke and dodge. Cody
Is
with the
Complexity
head start.
doing better
Just need to
today?
prioritize not
Is this the
overextending.
this the
Their play
losers
of
bracket,
action
right?
should be to hold forward and go left on the building.
At this point, holding out the remainder of the teams to their north.
Okay.
They go next to the last couple of members of Element 6. That is a huge drop on Micey. And ultimately,
Okay,
they don't
Complexity.
even need to make the push. Go next. Sandwiched between 2 squads are out.
Complexity, though, they may need some health or meds or anything from that.
Yeah,
but you
losers
can see
bracket,
they're just
okay.
going to loot quick, upgrade their shields, and then prioritize going back. All of the ultimates enacting across of FC Destroy, and Fnatic still needs to move. FC Destroy, albeit it was a very scary move to take this bridge, but doing it is going to be proving dividends.
Absolutely. Now, their concern does have to be Fnatic, who are positioned off to the north. You can see them on
They
the
finna be
highlights.
fighting for their
starting to
motherfucking life. I'm
rotate
glad to
up.
see
A
Complexity
Catalyst
still
wall
in the match.
separating these 2 squads. It's nice and opaque, but it is paper thin. And very little that Fnatic have to work with is actually going to let them be safe. A Phoenix kick popped by Umi-chan lets him move a little bit closer forward. Complexity wait on the low ground. Complexity, who have one of the best spots in this end game zone. The biggest problem for them is going to be the contest on roof, and Monsoon has that well in hand.
I like this. He does have a nade, a sky nade going out. Will it connect to Enter Force 36? Yes, you are able to put the piercing spikes down to prevent any teams from moving up, but Monsoon is a Bangalore with a digi threat.
Fuck him up, Monsoon.
He's able to do so much damage, does get tagged up, but Cody, you need to be able to capitalize on what Monsoon has already started.
Fuck.
Fortunately for them, with Luda getting fried earlier, Complexity are really struggling to make this push together. And the more time they waste here, the more time that everyone else is going to have to take note of this engagement and plan a third party. Complexity quickly appear to abandon this pursuit of fighting for the roof and instead are going to focus on
This the
Fnatic,
first
the only
elimination
team
bracket?
ahead
Yeah,
of
yeah,
them
yeah.
and challenge for the low ground.
This is crazy. Enter Force 36 playing from where we saw Startified Esports win this zone early
Losers
on.
bracket.
This is going to be everything.
Lower
Complexity trying to maintain.
lower
They're
bracket.
able to eliminate Fnatic and now have enough points to
Elimination.
break through the cusp
They
and
in a
put them
tough
into the
motherfucking
top
spot is the point,
Wonderful
Gabe.
play from
They need to
Complexity.
do some
Again,
shit.
approaching
That
this
bracket.
wall zone with precision.
I need to
Monsoon's
prove myself
clearly got a lot of
bracket.
energy,
Shit.
even after the first 2 games, because the pre-game song.
Good
seems
morning,
to be
ma'am. I
enough.
was wondering
Vector
where,
36 on the high
yeah, I
ground.
was up.
Catch
I
up
got
on
up.
this is
But
what
I
the
had to go back to
position is
sleep
for.
because
And make no
the twins
mistake,
got to
Tim,
fighting
it
this
is a
morning.
game-winning
And so I've been up
position.
since
8
6
kills
o'clock.
already collected by this monstrous team.
And they just keep them coming. Enter Force 36 needed this triple red. The only issue I have is with the ammo
Push
that
on the
is
kick.
in
Okay.
the hands of Enter Force
Okay,
36.
Monsoon.
But speaking of
Oh,
ammo,
shit,
Cody's
shit,
got
Cody
plenty of
down.
it, but Luda and Monsoon, they need to help this out and stay alive. I don't know if they'll be able to stick this, but Monsoon's gonna punch and run, trying to get him into a safe position.
It's a really good punch, and Monsoon
was a good punch.
recognizing what took Cody down, being shot in the back by Interforce 36. You can't stick
Okay.
around for too
Oh, they're
long,
getting
but this position
Sticking
is
a
really
revive.
good. Kick want to wide swing this kick, want to finish them off, but Clone doesn't have the health to do it, and it's got to be a full commit. Cody's going to be able to heal up on the back, but Kick are bleeding out. Their indecision is killing them in
Oh,
walls,
shit.
and they're
Kick is
gone
out of there.
just like
Okay.
that. 3 squads left. Complexity
Okay,
on the low
Complexity
ground,
still
Interforce
in
on the
it.
high ground, and North Action
Okay.
below them.
And Cody's able to get that full heal up. They have their Bloodhound. Should they be smoked out, they can prioritize with the Bloodhound scan just for the information of the time being. But Enter Force 36, they have just a moment's notice before they will have to full jump out. The Dark Veil coming out because North Action underneath them need to escape. But if they can
Let's
wait it out
go.
on the
Shaw,
high
appreciate the
ground,
resub. 18 months. Thank you.
They had a Jenny. That is the biggest difference here. There's no Watson on this
This-
Oh,
roster.
shit.
This is utter decimation. North Action clinically take out Enter
Here
Force
we
36.
go.
Now up to deal with
Oh.
Complexity, who come up from below. Luda waits on the low ground, and Complexity are your champions, picking up a win in Game 3.
Said it was a top 5 position, but they managed to pull out the win. Even
Let's
better.
go! My
That is
boys got a
impressive.
dub.
Congratulations, Monsoon. Behind him, Luda and Cody.
Let's
Man, that one's gotta feel
go.
good. Maybe they'll trade me a Pokemon.
I
after
can't
this.
scream like I want
Did not know
to.
Yeah, we are. We send gifts to each other.
That's nice and wholesome.
Oh,
just approached this one.
It's the twerking for me. You gotta fuck it up,
Very
baby.
clearly learned
Good shit,
throughout the
boys.
course of this championship, throughout the course of the group stage, and their VOD review is really on point here. We saw Element 6 play a very similar position to that in the group stage, and Complexity were able to clearly watch that, learn from the mistakes that cost Element 6 the game, and then execute it to an even more perfect level. I can't stop nerding out about this. I want
man.
to talk about it forever, but I know, Chip,
honestly,
I know
no,
that
keep going, keep going. I'm here for it. I'll start writing notes, Dia. Keep going.
I'm
12
just really
kills.
big fan
Let's
of the way that they approach
go.
it. The vibes are high. Complexity.
Look at my
needs this.
song.
Their team,
Okay.
As I said, is clearly
Hopefully they get that
learning
chemistry.
so quickly, and that's going to be enough likely to take them.
Shy. I was telling them, so this morning at about 6 a.m., twins decided to fight over the bathroom.
Don't hurt the Nessie.
So I heard them upstairs arguing because they got loud. I'm like, they gonna argue it out. They, you know, they gonna fuss and yell at each other, but somebody gonna do something. But then I started hearing thump, thump, thump. I'm like, oh shit, they up here throwing hands. They was in the bathroom scrapping like some people, like 2 females in the cafeteria. All I seen was bonnets. I'm up here screaming to the top of my lungs. This is at 6 o'clock this morning.
Complexity got. They got a hit original song. That is
I was so fucking sleepy. And I thought I was dreaming. I was like, what the fuck is they up here fighting? Joy, she's sitting there, she looking scared because she's looking at them fight in the bathroom. It's 3 bathrooms in the house.
Complexity showing up not just out of game but in game there.
They mama kids at least. Hey, he was throwing hands, baby. All I seen was bonnets flying. I said, oh my God.
Into hopefully some good pressure, and surprisingly, they're alongside it the win, especially in that game.
I said, Lord have mercy. So I woke up earlier than I normally wake up. Then I had to take Joy to school, and then when I took Joy to school, my throat was still hurting. So I was like, I'm not finna go live right now because my throat was on fire. Like, you know when you screaming and it feel like it's raw. Like that's how I felt this morning. Like now it feel a little bit better than it did this morning.
That you were talking about, Zephyr. That allowed them to get the reset, even though Kit was trying to swing.
You was literally talking about hello, and they now one of them never got in the fight. They only fight each other.
Which also allowed Complexity to take them out, give them just a few more seconds to kind of get themselves situated.
Me screaming could be me. Wait, you ain't got no scream, so that sound like a you problem is.
The bang ult and those sky nades that went up and completely eliminated Enterforce from the competition, Graceful, that really cinched it for Complexity.
What's Slick Rick
so
at?
The main thing that you have to keep notice of is where the zone is pulling on the screen right now. It's actually the team up.
So yes, shot. That's why I was later, because I was gonna get on, because Esme had told me to start at 10. I was like, okay, cool. Well, I can sleep. I can come back, drop Joy off, and take me a little nap.
It pretty much makes the fight kind of free for Complexity because they're the third party essentially, just sweeping the fight cleanly.
I had to take a little nap a little longer because my motherfucking throat was on fire. I'd have been up since 6 o'clock. I said, yeah, I'm finna lay down.
Fighting, and they could have waited down low, but they were like, no, all right, this is
my
exactly
mama would say that all the
time. While
time.
the other 2 teams are focused on each other, that we come in and clean up.
Genome as well, as we take a look at
I would say winner fights me.
Top in this game, but as we go towards back half of game 3 results, and then we look
they
at
don't need to be fighting each other sitting up there. Oh, I mean, they were getting down this morning. I'm sitting there like, what the fuck?
How is this shaking out so far?
I'm just trying to sleep.
5 games to play.
It's 6 o'clock.
Look at all the teams down the bottom here. 5 teams not scoring a single
So that's
point
how my
in this
morning
game,
started
right?
off. It's always something. Yeah, I really like if I could have cameras 24/7, like to record a day in my life.
This is an
y'all.
8-game series. They've got longer than they usually
My
would
shit
to
is
rack up
like
those
it's something every day,
As
y'all.
it stands, FC Destroy on top.
A long
APAC
morning. Listen,
representing the
y'all.
Complexity, North America, Pioneers,
A long
EMEA,
motherfucking
North Epsilon,
morning.
back to APAC, rounding out our top 4. Interforce shortly behind, tied with Element
Oh
6.
yeah, they
But
gonna
these
step for
are our
themselves.
top
Then
10.
the school
After
just
3, it's pretty
text not
top
too
heavy,
long
but
ago,
it's
so that's
still
why I woke up because my
viable
phone
for either
vibrated.
team. Even Lassite de France, who
And I was
started
my
playing well,
phone was
they've
still
had
in the
a
bed, and I was like,
fifth
what the
place finish,
fuck?
4th place finish.
And
They're
I
only
was
wrong
I
in
looked
game
and the
3
school
where they
was on a
had a
lockdown because they
fifth
got a
place
phone
finish to be
threat.
able to
So
get the
now I'm
job
up here
done.
like, oh
Lauren
shit, now the
looking
school
at
on
this
lockdown.
bottom
Justice
side
texted
of
me
it,
to my
though, as we enter more
she was
into
running to
our
my she was at the
PlayStation
front of the school to my she
tournament
ran to my I ain't never ran so
recap.
fast that classroom.
Tell me,
I
who needs to
said,
step
oh
up?
my
I talked about
gosh.
those guys. They haven't shown up the way I thought.
over the bathroom. One was trying to get ready, meaning brush their teeth, wash their face, and one had to pee.
And 18, not
The
where
one that
they
had
want
to
to be,
pee
not where some of us
was in the
expected them
bathroom
to be
first.
based off of our predictions heading into this series
And
alone.
Journey went,
And
I
they were
guess
gonna
Journey
have some
went
more
in the
help in order
bathroom
to get themselves back to
right
that lead.
behind her
I mean,
because she
looking
went
down the bottom there,
undressed. So
Onyx, they managed to make
I
it
don't
to
understand
27
how. I
in the
guess
split
one
through
walked in
playoff.
first. I don't
Coming
know.
off their 7th place in split 1, not a single kill yet. They need some of those.
But it's
Get them
3
the confidence
bathrooms
to
in the
get
house,
back up
Benjamin.
top in the next 5 games.
They got a bathroom upstairs.
Kind of showcasing
Right down the stairs is a half a
challenges
bathroom,
heading into the
and then
early
my
part of
bathroom.
This tournament, we had names
Like-
like PSG, like Riddle Order, and those are the teams actually not quite performing yet. But of course, we.
I'm trying to
absolutely
y'all
have
fight,
the
baby. I
ability
would
also after 3 to see if
Ooh,
anybody's
Lord have
contesting.
mercy.
Riddle Order, a team that I've talked about, and I don't know if you have any thoughts.
It was
Zephyr,
too-
as
it
well.
was too
Just
fucking
have
early
a
for
ton
the
of
shit.
personality, but have struggled getting.
Then I
out
text
of the
Nicole
gate.
because she
They
was
kind of
still at
have these
work.
19th,
She was like,
20th,
"Not they
18th
fighting."
positions, but when they get
I'm
past
like,
top 10s,
Lord,
they
it's
often
just too
threaten to win the
much.
game.
And that's the thing, especially with when we look
I
at
ain't
some
even
of
went
the
smoke my
early
piece of
series
blunt
for
'cause
Riddle.
my throat hurt.
I
Hell.
wonder if the early contest that they had to deal with in group stage has
Okay,
stunted what they
yo.
are capable of doing as we start to talk about that middle or mezzo game, or even furthermore,
taking these
the
damn
end game
braids
that
out.
follows suit. They haven't had as many opportunities as some of our other teams to deliver on that consistently.
Somebody's been reading Raven's tweets. Okay, I was wondering when that was coming out. How do you feel about
Yes,
that?
Complexity
By the
got a
way? Grayson, what do you think?
dub. And they got
I
the
think that
revive off
teams
right
are
there.
currently still adapting. It's only been
They
3
were
games,
in
like
good
you said. They're currently
positioning.
adapting to this lower bracket.
Kick
essentially.
came
We
in
also
fourth,
have to
though.
remember that some teams
Kick said
playing
they
out as
coming
a
to shoot
duo,
today, baby.
Teams, you used to have a POI. Now
I think
you
they
have to
were in fourth
switch it
or
up from
fifth
the
place.
main
Kick
group.
was.
Now you're in lower group. You're fighting to find your stripe once again. Sometimes even map start also sets the pace for your team. If you are starting on a map that you're not as confident in, you could be a slow starter. If you start on the opposite map, you could be just blazing through. If you get 2 good
Okay,
games,
yeah,
1
they
good
was
game,
there-
that
they
sets
was
the
up
pace
here
for the rest,
getting
of,
down this
for the rest
morning.
of the matches.
10-year veteran in esports as well, and obviously taking time to join us on the desk. Graceful, we always appreciate it. And maybe we appreciate it too much. I don't know. Production keeps giving you segments. So I guess we got a new segment
Then
here.
had to
hot
walk
off the
to school
presses.
together.
It's Graceful's Hot Takes.
Hey,
That's
I
right.
wonder
We're
if they
gonna
was
take a look
talking
at
on the
what
way to
Graceful thinks
school.
about some of the balance within Legends.
They probably
and
walk
some
on
things that
different
could
sides of the
potentially change. I know
road.
for those at home watching, you play Apex, you love these characters, you see these characters.
Felt
but
like me and my
talk to me,
cousin a
Graceful,
long
what are
time
your
ago.
thoughts on it?
Listen.
We'll have some reactions to it.
So speaking on the new Legend mechanics,
They was
so
in
far
there
we can
getting down.
see that Respawn, I've talked to the developers, I've been so lucky to talk to them. They also don't like me.
They're like, get this guy
Catalyst-
away from me.
Yes, Catalyst's new mechanics with the goop, with the Fortify, Revenant's new rework is fine. Seer got reworked recently as well. We've seen a lot of what they're capable of. However, something I really miss is all the old Legends, all the old casts, you know? I want to see all the new Legends get a refreshener, like rework, like the Rev has had essentially. And one of the absolute biggest one, I've been a huge fan of Mirage. Mirage has been my jam since season 1. I remember his first ultimate, his second, his third in duration, but they haven't really gotten that spot that I think. And I think what we should do is be chaotic. We should flip everything, make it a Mirage meta, you know what I mean? We should make it so that when you shoot a decoy, you take damage and get slowed. You can swap spots with your decoy. Get team invis, you know, go ham with everything. That's how I like it.
Goodness, he's talking crazy. Lauren, what do you think? I mean, you know, this is a wild invisibility meta. Is it coming?
I'm an agent of chaos, just like you are, Graceful. So I'm right on board with you. I'd love to see Mirage getting in there, and honestly, what the invisibility could do for potential revives in later circles in the game could also be massive.
I mean, is your favorite move?
I didn't even get my Red Bull this morning. Whenever they go on that break, I probably run up to QT and give me a Red
Graceful, you also
Bull.
had
I
some
didn't get
thoughts
my Red
on
Bull.
Bloodhound. What do you like to see with Bloodhound?
I ain't
'Cause now
get-
we're actually seeing Bloodhound get played for the first
Listen,
time in almost
it's been a
the entire
morning,
year
y'all. It's been a
in
morning.
a major way.
Yes. So the thing is,
My
I haven't
mom
gotten
will
to this
pop
topic
us
yet
if we
with the
got,
developers,
baby.
but
I
think
wasn't going
every
up all
day
the
about
motherfucking stairs. I was there right at the bottom of the stairs
what I
screaming.
wanted to talk about Bloodhound is philosophy behind the characters, the lore.
As soon as
For
I started
me, a
screaming,
Bloodhound
the fight
as a hunter
stopped.
and a predator,
Because they
you
knew
know,
I'm
we
in
used to be
business.
seeking tracks and
When I
everything,
raise
and
my
now it's kinda
voice,
been, you know, a little bit
they
of a
know
gray
I
area,
don't
a little bit
raise
more
my
unique,
voice.
you know. What we
I don't
could
raise
have,
my
you know what
voice,
that would
but
be?
when I raise my voice
Ooh,
like
when you shoot
that,
someone, you get speed.
you know I
You
mean
chase them
motherfucking
down.
business.
You
Because
go
if
hard.
I had to
That's
come
what
up
we
them
need.
stairs
We
and
need
break
to
it up,
rework
I was
characters
gonna
to
be
fit the
both
lore
their ass.
and be scary.
I know you were talking about the other day.
They already knew if I had to walk up the motherfucking stairs at 6 o'clock this morning, I was gonna whoop both of their ass.
Bit of the changes with the Ravens, so a bit of a bird collector potentially.
And then Joy, I'm dropping her off. She was like, I don't know why they was in there fighting this morning. I said, girl, I don't know. You know, that's the mama. She said, I don't know why they was in there fighting this morning, mama. I said, baby, I don't know.
She's a high pick rate thing, and the biggest thing that I want to do.
She was like, it's another bathroom downstairs. I'm like, girl, I know, that's what I'm saying. She over here trying to co-sign. Joy was like, yeah, it ain't me in trouble now.
That's how we need to go on about it.
I guess you guys can see why the developers are running away from Graceful whenever he shows up, because he's basically changed Apex into a completely new game. But that's what makes innovation. You have these ideas come out. Thank you, Graceful, for your hot takes. We'll have more segments with Graceful and the rest of the analyst desk coming up very shortly. But for now, it is time to get back into our final game.
When I tell you, it's something every day.
It is game 4. We're sending 10 teams home today. And let's see if we can get halfway and have a better picture of who that is. Tiff, Dia, take it away.
Thank you so much. It's so crazy hearing Graceful up there. He's not lying. He has been chasing the devs down day in, day out, and all those.
It must be cold there because they showed me wearing sweaters.
You know, why not, Dia?
I had to pop in and save them yesterday. Like, unironically, he had them cornered by the merch booth, and I had to walk out and go, is this man?
But he got eyeshadow on?
Blink twice if you need help.
Oh, he do got green eyeshadow
they're
on.
really good about it, though, and I do love seeing that the developers of the game are engaged.
Somebody could have did it better than that if he was going to wear it.
At the World Championship, and it's been really nice to get some insight as to where the game is at, and importantly, Tiff, where it's going. But for right now, we're going a very special place. We're going to the last game on Storm Point in our first round of the elimination bracket.
This is where it starts to heat up, right? You've already got 3 maps under your belt. You're midway through the series. If you're not in that top 10, now is the time to start putting in the work, making sure that you are doing everything in your capability to avoid going home. It is just getting started here at the Apex Legends Championships, and we are in character select.
Getting ready to drop into this game. Dropship pathing, really important. We've been touching on it the whole time, and we've got another dropship path that splits the map straight on from the northwest side to the southeast side. This will give teams like Fnatic, teams like Kick, teams like Ganbare Otosan boots on the ground buff. The first move in the final game.
Yo, this music is hyping me up. I'm not gonna lie. Hot Zone is gonna be launchpad. They'll have a ring console as well. Looks like crafting at the mill, at Millage, Antenna, Shipfall, and this is where things will start moving. Apex Legends Complexity, your map 3 winners.
Wait, what's the talking about, Sha?
For free?
and a beacon along with
they going back to the cave now.
Survey and a ring console going to be available there.
Oh, because Aurora Duo, huh? I'll go back there too then, shit.
Game 3. Get to profit even further. They have to be the focus.
Oh, that's the flatline scan right there.
The heroes so far, that's for sure.
He got the flatline scan. Oh, the eyeshadow. Yeah.
The rotation out from Complexity
now
is gonna be what I'm really
it's like a different shade of green, but it's the fact that it's just like right on the bottom of the eyelid. Like it's on the top eyelid, but just like a line across the top eyelid.
Command center. Oftentimes, we'll see teams like Complexity innovate by taking the Trident down through Shipfall, around fish farms, and up through the spider caves. But they could choose to take a more direct approach if they want to pick up more KPs.
I can't believe Aurora is really. So Area 3, is there a duo too?
You look at zones like this, and you have
Area 310.
On which way it will pull. Do we see it go straight to Stormcatcher up to where that?
Yeah, he could do black. Yeah, black with 8.
Having teams elect to play the corridors.
It's entirely possible.
So it's 2 duo.
There are, as you illustrate, plenty of zone endings over here, and some of them even go south of Stormcatcher. Not many will go towards where Aurora are positioned, but Command Center is absolutely a viable spot to play if you're willing to extend a little bit further out towards the south once we hit zones 5 and beyond. For other teams, though, that are a little further away, that don't have a clear read on where the zone is going, edge play is always possible, and Ganbare Otosan, finishing up just as round 1 starts closing, are a little bit slower on the rotate. Down to Beast can take a while, but even so, This is going to be, I'll say, a mediocre rotation from them, where they'll likely get to zone and not have a priority position, but still a decent spot where they can influence the mid game.
It was honestly mediocre loot coming out of Down Beast as well. 2 white shields and a blue. That's not necessarily what you want, because you think of the mill that are guaranteed to have so much better shields. They're walking away 2 blues and a white in hot pursuit of someone that is looking to rotate straight in front of them. We did see the mill empty because they had already rotated her in the hands and the chaos that Element 6 is looking to portray. They've already expended the mother loads. They've sent out so much utility and not necessarily capitalized in the actual damage and knocks.
I don't mind at all that we went down and busted a mother load just to make sure, just to fish for a few kills, because Element 6 need them. They're one of the teams that would be really surprising had you told me that they'd
What
be
does
ending up
LCDF
fighting for their
stand
lives in
for?
the elimination bracket this round. At the start of the tournament, they could very well have been one of EMEA's strongest performers. Will Aurora start to make their way up, continuing the path of EMEA squads interacting with each other? Element 6 considered this rotation, Pioneers took it, Aurora are following suit. This just seems to be the corridor of Europe.
Sometimes you just need to do that, and honestly, coming in just south of that 10th place threshold that you need to break with the teams at the top, just entering into the 30s, you're really not that far behind. You just need a 15-point game to breach that kill point differential. And now 100 Thieves starting to position themselves in a nice spot on that high ground above Aurora. Should be able to apply enough pressure to kind of stave off that push. Now, if they want to find themselves getting whichever corridor they would like,
I'd be scared to not be playing the Callus, baby.
I can't help but smile looking at the spot that 100 Thieves are holding, remembering the last game where I saw shit take a nice oob on this. That's a pretty quick knock, unfortunately, for Skirwy. And remember, we talked about losing your Gibraltar. He does absorb when he's down. It's hard to get it back.
Look, if you're at least you have
he
crafted
threw the
them.
Gibby out down there. Ooh, he burnt them up with thermite.
And this was the zone that benefited them so much. You think of their landing in Stormcatcher. It came straight to them. They had crafting. They have triple blue. They are sitting so nice, and they can withhold the teams from the north. North Eption effectively landing in Thunderwatch, already having a priority rotation straight to Stormcatcher. But for the other teams that are running into some issues, like 100 Thieves, right? They immediately lose out on one, and Pulverex, they're like, this is an opportunity that we're going to capitalize on.
I know a game already underway. Why didn't let me pass it?
Not having been kind to Pulverex, but now that they've taken out Onmu, they get to abuse the squads around them a little bit more. Vaxlon's the last one left, and they don't have to focus on cleaning this up. Instead, their real goal can start to be cementing themselves in the south side of the ring, and hopefully
it wasn't your game.
Rotation up to where we're seeing a lot more.
Well, I sure also try to pass it to Mayo here.
And as we said, seeing 100 Thieves
earlier. Trying to pass me stuff. I'm over here taking my braids in.
Their previous position.
You know, all I saw before we jumped on over to LCTF was like Pulverex full sending Vaxlon. They're like, we are not letting this left member get away. Now, whether Vaxlon is able to get out of dodge and avoid Pulverex, we'll have to wait and see. But LCTF currently sit on that threshold. That
no, do not run that top Lollipop's command. I'm finna disable it because now the bot for the break.
Top 10, so they
I'm finna disable it because y'all still ain't learned not to run that one.
Reverting back to that iron sight on 30-30, it looks like
that's the command, but don't run it because it breaks the bot. It freezes the bot up. I'm finna disable it though, so because I keep telling y'all not to run it, and y'all still run it, and then the bot breaks and freezes.
I like the bruiser. I know that I'm not usually like an egg. Yeah, just the 2x, the bruiser. It's what I like.
It's disabled now. Y'all ain't gotta worry about it. Because y'all keep running it, and it freezes the bot up. Because it takes too long for it to calculate everybody lollipops, and then the bot freezes up and crashes. But this is disabled now. I've been meaning to disable it since. Because somebody ran it the other day, and Lion.
Definitely
Bodge
can reach a lot higher highs today. Disguise was at the top of a lot of people's rankings coming into this elimination bracket. They also, much like Pulverex, actually have not.
I think Lion ran it the other day, and they shut the whole damn bot down. Had a whole error message and crash and some more shit.
As their main problem is not just the teams that are rotating with them, like Pulverex and the last member of 100 Thieves, but Lecite de France in front of them. That's where Disguised would really like to play.
You can see
I
the
run that
member of
bitch at the end of the month.
wrapping around, but you know what Vaxlon's trying to do? He wants to get to launch pad and
Take a
hit
picture
the
so
crafting
y'all know where y'all
because
at.
they can get
That's
the
the last.
banners back and get a full reset. Sometimes
See how
I
long it
forget
took
that
that bitch to
Gibraltar is a
calculate.
support character and has the ability to do that. So Pulverex, though, have already moved into that, looking for that next zone information. Now, what you can see, it is going to be a Stormcatcher
Okay,
ending.
shout
A
out the
lot
top
of teams
spot.
can occupy that small space in all
Yeah,
the
to
different
you.
nooks and crannies, but you want to maintain that high ground.
Tokyo, where you at?
Nice
Fifth?
couple shots out of Pulverex.
Is for number
As you said,
4.
it is just the last member of 100 Thieves
Okay.
to actually be able to survive for now.
Okay,
But the shots
Savage,
from
I see you
Pulverex
on
could
there.
very well alert other teams that are rotating through the area. Many of our southern-based squads
The bot
have
is
started
beating 2
moving
people.
up,
There's 3
following
bots on there. It's
suit
beating
over
3
what
folks.
Disguised have currently taken as their rotate. And actually, we may very well see some more fights break out on that very same move. For Pulverex, they've got the Crafter. Other teams have got to fight for position.
Ah, shit.
Fight your way in, and it's going to be Disguised gatekeeping Riddle Order. Yukia and Miyake both losing out on their shields. Now, as long as Disguised maintains the power position over Riddle Order, they should be able to put enough pressure down. But by knowing that there's 8 seconds before that zone starts to push, and they want to get into those buildings on that eastern side of Stormcatcher and be able to hold them out there, that's exactly what they're doing. They're like, where do we want to play from?
And again, Riddle, go for a rotate, get cut off, and have to go back the worst way. Their late rotations are really not doing them any favors when they're not willing to fight. Instead, they've got to take the route from Disguised earlier, putting them straight in the sights of Le Site de France. For Complexity in a, I'll say, different spot for now. They've got a few other teams to go through, but a rotation that's going to be a lot less heavily gate-kept, as not many teams will choose to rotate in from the western side.
Yeah, that's so tough, though. Riddle Order, they're so good at fighting, and I would rather see them take that risk against Disguised versus wrapping around
Welcome
down
to the
south.
stream,
We know
y'all.
a lot of those teams are going to get congested.
It's going to be an uphill fight either way. That's the unfortunate part. Complexity take a pretty even one. Bangalore ult a nice response to the Catalyst wall they see in front of them. It's a matter of stalling out a team,
that was a nice-
waiting for the zone to finish closing, seeing if anyone makes a mistake. But Complexity cannot move forward till they eliminate this squad. And so the 40 chunk that comes out of Monsoon will be a nice opener.
All right
and
now,
that with a
come on,
Digi can
Monsoon.
very well end your life.
Oh, Monsoon trying to stay alive, but does get caught out by ILY. Does go down. Cody, Luda looking to pick up the slack for the team. They've already got the crack. We just need to land one more, and Enter Force 36 will fall. Match 3 winners coming in here strong, now breaking that threshold of 30 points. Just a little bit of punching to get him out of that line of sight and go for a clean res, and Cody electing to drop the shield swap for the quick reset.
And as we'd illustrated, not a whole lot of teams choose to rotate up
starting to
this
sound
way.
better,
It's
yeah.
a difficult move. So Complexity get the benefit of an
I just keep
isolated
having to
3v3
clear my
as a
goddamn
result.
throat.
Teams, unfortunately, that have chosen to move up, like go next
Shit.
into Area 310, have to fight that
Ooh,
high low
major
run battle, but
reset.
Slab's found a creative answer, almost takes down a
I'm
member.
still upset.
Unfortunately,
Fucking
has to
wake me
stall
up
this
at
one
6,
out a little
6
longer.
o'clock on a
Spots
motherfucking
revealed
Friday.
now, and it'd be risky to stay up here without taking a bat.
Bambino gonna make quick work of the black hole. That really didn't do too much for them, but Misi is gonna get caught out trying to get behind the fence line, but not before going down to approximately 5 HP. Oslab and Bambino need to cover the fire, and they're trying to do so. But when you smoke and you don't have a digi threat, this is pure defense in pushing off. But Area 310 have
Hey,
taken
man,
to
good
the
morning.
high ground, have
Good afternoon.
maintained their health, and will continue
It's
to put the
12:06.
pressure
Good
It's
on.
not about the
afternoon,
kills
man.
anymore.
How you
With
doing?
the push, go next, or honestly as
Hey,
good
give me
as
some
dead.
water.
So many other teams have lines of sight onto this squad now, and it's a
Some
matter
water.
of waiting. Area 310 just have to keep from
Good.
making a mistake and continue to lay
I am
down the
doing
pressure.
good.
And eventually, someone else will help them take care of Go Next. In
Trying to
fact,
take my
somebody
hair
else
out
is
now.
already
See?
helping as
Progress,
J-Links were
making
taking shots at
progress.
them.
Well, that's the issue, right? As we push down this hill towards Stormcatcher, you can already see the shots
Making
coming from the roof and
progress.
inside of Stormcatcher. So they're just going to be, and you're like you said, in all of those different teams' lines of sight. And Riddle Order, who had taken forward that southernmost wraparound, have now found the remnants of the newly revived 100 Thieves team. Vaxon was able to navigate into Launchpad, craft the banners, hit a full res, but will they be able to keep going? Because Area 310, they're pushing the issue. They've got the knock onto Bambino, and they will keep moving forward.
Could have been a crack, could have been a knock, could have been anything, but a momentary bit of weakness lets Area 310 know that it's their time to push. Quick finish, and yes, even still, those shots that you were talking about from the roof over in Stormcatcher caused complications. A delayed reset started by Lemon gives other teams like J-Lings the opportunity to move up. They've continued to lay in some damage, but I'd rather see J-Lings stay here. They have a zone coming to them. They know they can weaken this team.
They trying to take them
Area
out over there.
310, but it's much better to farm up your Evo shields and hold on to where you're at.
Now that we've seen the end
yeah, we're gonna do customs tonight on Kick.
That Riddle Order was able to take out 100
show you
on
right
that
on
southernmost side. Now they have completely cleared out their backs, but must worry about what holds the western front and the eastern front. But J-Lings, they're working on the north beyond the wall.
Fortunately enough, they have Watson. That means generators. That means extra shields. And Nags
we're gonna do some customs
need to spend as many shield cells as
How
they
your wrist
otherwise
feeling, man?
might in order to get back to full. Decision to stay around here and stick 2 of them so far is just to stay a little more active. Kick, speaking of activity, try and make their presence felt on top of Stormcatcher, but are getting pushed and taken out by Aurora.
Okay,
That's a
Aurora
2v3.
took Kick out with a duo.
Wonderful fight from Aurora.
That's fucked up,
You are
man.
just confident in your duo's ability.
Yeah, had to hit her with that Keith Lee for sure. You right out.
And now with them safely into Stormcatcher, we'll have to worry about all the teams that are trying to rotate in as Riddle Order is now starting to back around on where Element 6 had previously been. The Dark Veil coming out, but the Digi threat is doing the work.
Yukio's Digi was
Are they doing better though than they were with
actually
3?
finish off that team. Element 6 is still behind them.
I guess
and
we'll
now
have to
Riddle are
see.
sandwiched. This decision to peel off Element 6 after having dealt them so much damage could kill them. And it's a nice smoke and hopefully a double back as Lecite de France start getting involved, watching Element 6 rotate away.
But the fact that Element 6 was able to go just a little bit further south and say, you know what, we don't really want to part of this. We're going to try to rotate out. We understand that LCDF has high ground on us and will follow us throughout our rotation, but they're going to need to swing all the way out and try to get around. But this is just going to free up Riddle Order to have a free
It hurts like a
rotation
bitch. I was showering and had to take the wrap off, so I was playing
It's
this.
just one foot, then the other. First, it's Riddle dealing with Element 6, then it's LCDF. None of the teams getting
you gotta
to
wrap
truly
it
fight
back
each other.
up.
Finally, Element 6 getting to move up onto the high ground. Riddle have foregone
That
all
big
of
math
that,
tutor, I know
taking
you
to the
lying.
skies and likely finding
I
a
was
good
horrible
rotation
with
into
math,
zone.
horrible,
We know the trouble with Valkyrie ults,
horrible.
though. It's not
Baby,
getting
I
them
just
off.
made
It's
it. I made it by math with the hairs on my
exactly
chin,
where
chin,
Riddle is looking
chin.
to call out. You can see all the teams' locations landing smack dab in the middle.
Now,
if this
English?
is free and they have a team above them, but they are
That's me right there,
okay for
baby.
now. You can see Gombareo Tosan just on
English
top
was my
of
favorite
Stormcatcher.
subject.
Fnatic has made their way just to the highest of the highs, and they will have a nice angle on everyone. But the issue with this being
I
said
miss
is
Factor
Skynades,
Mills. I'm
Bangalore
having a
all the
healthy
chaos,
choice, and they
J-Lings
do not.
amongst the midst
Yeah,
of
you
it.
don't have to put some salt and pepper on that healthy choice for sure.
Disguised are looking
You have to
for
put some
blood,
salt and pepper on
you
that
know
bitch.
that they've got the fragging power to
That's
do
why I
it.
was
Good
glad
angle
with
so
the
far
fact
as
that I'm like,
well.
okay,
As
they
soon as a
actually
little bit of
seasoned it. It was
comes
good.
in,
Like
they're
it wasn't
going to send it.
overwhelming. So like if you was
Speaking of
cooking and
sending
you
it,
know how
we
to
got
season
Lecite
it would be,
de
but
France
it was
pushing up onto
good.
the high ground.
The 1v2
Like I ain't have to add. The only thing I put on mine was my 985 sauce, and that was just on the strength.
Aurora will fall, but not before losing out
And
on a
Aurora
member of
eliminated.
LCDF, who are now relegated to a duo. Area 310 holding that top left position. I don't hate it. They're staying safe and
complexity
maintaining,
still.
putting out more damage than they're taking.
I'm really impressed that they were even able to make it all the way here. But we prefaced this earlier. The J-Lings squad was always on a timer. With Disguised so close to them, Dupe takes the first knock, and it's a matter of keeping the pressure up. Area
I hated
310 will
math.
be able
The
to join
new
in,
math is when
given
I
time
was
as
asking
well.
my parents to help.
J-Lings
But they were
are
like, what's
wiped
this
out
shit? But that's
casually
me.
by Disguised.
I was looking at the twins math paper the other day. I said, ooh, Lord, I ain't. No, they got it. They got it.
With that Watson with the crypto.
What's
but
up,
no
Slick
stranger
Rick?
to fighting will be none other than North
Good
Action,
afternoon.
who are looking to mirror the rotation and the initial
He
push to
said
Area
grilled
310.
chicken, let's
They
go.
smack dab
But
right
then
into
I
the
peeled
middle
it back
prior
with
to
him
taking
and
the
it
scale
was
eliminated, and North
it was
Action
whiter
now
than a
maintaining the
vampire.
building.
Disguise, great spot. Position where they could win the game from.
Hey, it didn't even have the grill marks on
a lot
it.
of safety, and the most important thing for Disguised is going to be outputting.
Yeah, they got it, baby. Ooh. You remember Tokyo? I was in the Discord. I was like, y'all better go in the Discord and ask some of them kids for that math homework. You remember that was like last year. I think last year, year before last. I was like, you better go in the Discord and ask some of them kids help you on the math problem, baby, because I can't do
So
it.
many teams clamoring for position in what will soon be the final zone.
No lines or color. It looked like boiled meat. Sure did. I was like, y'all, hey, go ask some kids in the Discord, because y'all all in the same, hey, they know the same math. Yeah. That's past me, baby. That's past me, baby. Math lost me when they started putting the alphabets in that bitch. Because why, what's X and Y? Bitch, part of the alphabet, they ain't got nothing to do with no goddamn math equation. Shit.
Complexity are doing great right now.
I'm not never gonna use that in my life, baby. As long as I can multiply and subtract, that's all I need to know how to do.
Have been picked up in the course of the last
That's
few minutes.
it.
They have yet to drop a member, but as they start moving up into Riddle, complexity or damage, they're being shot from above. MDY are contributing, and they've lost Monsoon.
Damn, complexity got eliminated. It was a clusterfuck down there. God damn.
Fight for their lives, but MDY have the tools to take them out. LQ takes a quick reset. Gibraltar Bubble still around. And importantly, the shield swaps keep MDY in it.
Hey T, good afternoon. How you doing?
Disguised is still alive, still in it. Doesn't matter
How
what
is it
abilities
grilled
you take
chicken
to
with no
grab,
color
but
though? I'm
prioritize
still,
your healing,
you should have took a
evade
picture of that
from
shit.
the abilities, and play this ridgeline that you were saying. This is a game-winning spot. Can they stave off a little bit longer? Pulverex have fallen. We're down to the final three. MDY White, Fnatic on your right, and Disguised to the north.
You can actually take control right now because the power, the balance of
I ain't
power
never
has
seen
shifted.
no white
Fnatic have
grilled
so
chicken.
much put on Disguised that MDY have a good chance
knock
of being
it
able to
off,
manufacture a win.
okay.
Umi-chan is isolated,
I'm
and again,
doing
DSG
good.
is taking
Are we
so
taking
much
these
attention.
braids now
Fnatic
still?
having so much respect
Taking
are
some
taking the
braids.
wide swing, forcing DSG into MDY.
Taking
and
these
it's
damn
going to be
braids
the
out
thing
my
that
head.
changes this game.
The fact that Disguised have full sent MDY White puts Fnatic
to hurry up and
in
get
the
done, 'cause I got
power
some stuff I need
position.
to do,
They can
and I
just
need to
push
be-
straight into the gimme bubble.
I need to
Okay,
record.
Yuka, we see you able to grab a knock. Now to the final two squads. MDY White in front of them. I
Fnatic.
believe in a Yuka supremacy. I
Okay,
believe
Fnatic.
in Fnatic.
I don't know if you can hear them, but the crowd is going
Yeah,
crazy for
Rick.
Fnatic.
They lost
They
me
have
with
so
that. Because
many
why?
fans in the
What
arena,
X and Y?
seeing them take
What
game,
that
as
right
we
there?
said, the
Bitch.
balance of power
No-
was so
nothing in
shifted, and
life
as soon as DSG give
requires
into
that
Fnatic,
amount of math
understand they can no
on a
longer
regular
hold that
daily
position.
basis.
They're punching
Now, if you
in
are
Fnatic's
accounting
hands.
and all that, I don't even know if you need that to be an accountant. I don't even know. You might need to be an accountant or some kind of mathematician or some shit like that, but nothing in everyday life for 36 years have I needed to know that answer.
Certainly been
Never.
one to at least guarantee that they will not be dropping today.
I was
after
only a
win
year
like
ahead
that,
when it came
and
to
the
math.
performances
Once I
they've
got into
already
middle,
had, this should be enough to
middle
keep them
school
safe.
numbers
But for
are
that, we have a few more
my
maps on
specialty.
World's End,
Really?
and
You
skill
love
change
math?
using
I
teams like
fucking
Fnatic.
hate it.
True, you are not safe. As we saw yesterday in groups when we were deciding the fate for our teams to hit the winners
When I
bracket
got into
for the
geometry, I was like,
elimination round one.
hey, what are these squares and shapes and shit, man? I don't need all that.
Fnatic, you were sitting just
I
outside
don't
the
need
top
all
5,
that.
still safe, but this is what you needed to really enact on that consistency.
Now see a
lot of
paper,
teams have
now a
managed to
paper,
get
give me a
positions
paper,
like
baby.
this.
Now I can
KCP,
write, baby. I can
Complexity,
write you a
and
paper,
FC
okay?
Destroy, joining
English was
Fnatic
my
in the
specialty. That was my specialty. I can do
very few
English.
teams that are privileged enough to have won.
Cause I can write a paper,
game.
baby. I can write
That's
on
exactly
mean
what I'm
paper.
talking about. After that game, after watching Yuka's movement, I am very, very happy with
I
seeing
can write
such a
old mean
mechanically gifted
paper.
squad. What a lot of people have high expectations for.
I
come out
even
on
like
top and push
history
themselves
to a certain
one
extent.
day further.
I like science. Science was really a good category until science turned into math, and then I stopped fucking with science.
Before we even know it, we'll have match point finals on Sunday. Let's run back the
That's
final
why
circle,
science
where
turned
that
into math,
balance
which
of
I can
power shifted because
understand.
Fnatic,
That's
the
one
amount
I
of
can
space they were
understand
able to
because of
occupy,
stuff, you
the
know, mixing
amount of
stuff up,
pressure that
chemistry.
Yuka
I
is able to
understand why
apply forward
science
just
turns
by
into math
bouncing up and
equation.
down and
But
shooting.
math
They
turned
knew
into the
Decisive
alphabet and all that,
And
baby.
Graceful
That's
actually talked
unnecessary.
about this on the analyst desk, but a big factor
That's
here is not just
unnecessary.
Fnatic's pressure, but how quickly the zone is closing. It's going to push
Went
Disguise
to the
down
library
well
to use
before it
the.
pushes
Hell
Fnatic or
yeah.
MGY. So they are the
Baby
team that
stayed
does
at the
have
library, had a
to
library
do.
card,
Choosing
baby,
not to
and
push
that's the only
Fnatic
computers we had.
is just
Well,
a
when I was
matter
growing
of
up in the hood, we didn't have
what they
computers and
want
shit, but
to
you
do,
had to go
what
to
they
the
feel
library and use their
comfortable doing.
computer.
MDY do get taken a little bit off guard, but it's still Disguised having taken so much harassment from
You had to
Fnatic.
go to the
It ultimately
library.
opens the door for this team that
Damn, he went
played
8
really
shit with
well,
that
took a
9-9
good
right there.
position,
God
even took
damn.
out Pulverex to get here to finish off with a win, a 20-point game, and MDY certainly impressing by even
That's the
beating
sixth
them.
place.
That's
They got
so
6
really
kills.
cool
Okay.
to do. We saw so many engagements that MDY White were able to occupy, but you think about where they land in Stormcast.
And then you type it, it's only 2 pages. Babe,
They
I
were
used
just
to
sitting there
hate
picking
that
them off. So to hit
motherfucking
double
shit,
digits that early on with
baby.
an impressive 22 points
Oh
is
my
very
gosh.
nice. And Disguise on 10, but Riddle.
Riddle, I was going to say, where are my
But I
Riddle
used to,
fans?
I could write a
Literal
paper.
and
baby.
figurative.
I can write a paper.
Finishing in 5th place
I was
here.
ever be a
This is
teacher, I
one
would
of Riddle's
definitely be an
best
English
games
teacher.
so far, and I mean that from a points perspective as well as from an actual macro perspective. Being pushed into that suboptimal rotation that we talked about, they somehow managed to wrestle away control of the southwestern side of this zone and control teams like Element 6, pushing Element 6 to a 12th place finish with just a few points, mostly coming from kills.
They in a
It's actually
motherfucking
not too
Discord
bad, though. They
talking.
came into this match sitting
Redirect
on
y'all
25 points,
motherfucking
so
attention
now they've
to the
hit
chat.
that 30-point
Hell.
threshold, but will that be enough? I feel like they need a
I would
match
choose and
win
increase
with at
the
least
font
15
size and make
points to
those
really
pages, make
feel
the
a little
margins
bit more
bigger.
safe, because it is the elimination round 1. You're never safe, and for our teams that are going out here on a little bit of a donut point game, we have to know you've got to
Yeah,
answer back.
Ballistic,
But as we
I
see,
mean,
the Fnatic fans in the crowd
yeah.
and 8 eliminations,
He was
42
like,
damage.
when he came out, it was like,
I keep saying
oh,
it, I need
Ballistic,
to
and then
go
it was
put
like a
myself
thing
a
of the
Fnatic
past.
jersey. They are super sick. The moment they
I can
dropped
write a
the
nasty
champions
10-page
jerseys, I
paper,
was
but
like,
math,
that is
no bueno.
impressive.
That's
I'll
me
go
and
with you.
mine.
Honestly, yeah.
It is well worth
That
it.
is me
Fnatic
all day.
have not just had fans in APAC North representing them, but ever increasingly all around the world, with holding 2nd place after we finished the first couple of rounds. They've put themselves in a safe position, and I'm not afraid to say it. We will be seeing Fnatic in tomorrow's games. For now, it's a matter of time and of holding on for teams like Complexity Fnatic, MDY, FC Destroy, and perhaps even Pioneers. You're now thinking about how you can play your best game of Apex Legends. It's not necessarily about farming KP anymore. It's about making
it'll
sure
heat
that
you
you
up,
can
but you can
clinch
go,
wins,
you know,
especially for a
pull
team
back.
like North Epsilon,
Yeah,
who's included
he
here,
ain't
who has
all
yet
what he
to
meant
win
that
a game
to be.
today.
They'll have to
He
put one
definitely need a
together.
buff in this thing.
LZTF, that threshold, that 10th place
Definitely
cutoff,
need a
but
buff.
only 2
Boy, I need me a
points
Red
separate
Bull.
them. But that's it for
I need my
Skylar, Tiff, and
wings.
Dia. We're going to go hit the desk for a little bit of analysis later
I couldn't
on,
even
but
go
we're
in the
done
store 'cause I
here
didn't want to
in
go in there
the
with my
booth,
bonnet
and
on.
we're going to cut to a quick break. So when we come back, you're going to
The
have
other
your
morning,
4
I went in
games
that bitch.
on World's Edge.
But my hair was plaited out, so I left it out. Yeah. Complexity doing a little razzle dazzle today. That's what I'm saying, because they all some shooters, so I don't understand why they were struggling so
WD
hard.
Black, the official storage partner of the
What?
Apex Legends Global
She
Series.
wants Stinky. What?
Energy, the official energy drink of the Apex Legends Global Series.
Welcome back, everybody, to Resorts World Arena here in Birmingham for the Apex Legends Global Series Championships.
I really pray they bring
And now we have
ALGS back to the States.
remaining in our elimination bracket round 1 to find out who will survive and who will have to go home.
It means we're moving from Stormpoint over to the very familiar World's Edge, which of course is always going to be those who are better at World's Edge now have their chance to start picking up some points and maybe get closer to that elimination bracket round 2.
Now this is where the tension really starts to step up for the teams. We've seen some of our bigger names really come forward. Fnatic with such an important win in that last game that we saw on Stormpoint, Dan, just revitalizing them, giving them that confidence to really try and turn what has been a little bit of a tumultuous tournament around for them so far. But Fnatic looking good, Complexity with a big win as well. The question is, will World's Edge change that narrative? And we'll see some more teams come to the fore.
Yeah, Complexity on top at the moment, but I'm going to be looking at teams like J-Lings, for example, who have been far better at World's Edge throughout this tournament and a lot of previous tournaments. Maybe Stormpoint might not be their thing, but with 4 in a row on World's Edge, you'd be expecting teams who do prefer that map to start to step things up now.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how things do get stepped up for certain teams. And like we said in the intro there, a little bit unfortunate that we are the ones who have to send some teams home as well. It's 4 more games, and it might be the end of the tournament for some of these teams. For 10, though, the road will continue. Here is your map rotation and your winners if you're just joining us from the Stormpoint games we saw. FC Destroy winning match number 1. Pioneers without winning match number 2. Complexity and Fnatic, like I just mentioned, rounding out 3 and 4. But now we change maps. Now we change the tempo as we head over to World's Edge.
Yeah, the teams that we're looking at that are kind of on the bubble at the moment, you've got Lasite de France, Riddle Order, and Enter Force 36. They're the teams that everyone's going to be targeting to try and catch up. But then below that, those who are really struggling and really need to perform on World's Edge, J-Lings, 100 Thieves, Pulverex, and Gabare Artisan. These 4 squads have to step up, and they have stepped up on World's Edge, but it has to continue here today.
Yeah, a lot of focus for me on J-Lings, and not just the spots that they get, but how do they control that space around them. So many times we see them getting good priority, a quick rotate to zone. Sometimes leaving the loop behind to make sure they can hold down a spot, but it's all about if they can demand and control the space around it, not just the building that they reside in themselves. World's Edge, of course, poses a different challenge.
I just seen what Hal tweeted about
Aurora. You've only got 4 games
that's
ahead of you,
bad
that completely changes also how you're thinking as a team. Thinking that you might need to put some extra points on, starting to think about KP being the thing that sends you through to the next round. Everything is about to change here, and that pressure's going to get ramped up.
And we'll have to see whether we do see a contest happening on World's Edge. The potential again for MDY White and 100 Thieves. Now 100 Thieves, I said, really need to get some points here on World's Edge. If they can do so, we might see them progress. But having a contest is never going to help you, right? It's never going to put you in that spot where you're thinking, okay, we're confident on this map. It's going to be tough for them. They have to win those engagements.
Well, just while we wait for the lobby to be ready and the players to be comfortable on our main stage here, I want to talk about that good-looking man on your stage right now, Monsoon. I mean, what a moment it was earlier. A song to open it up today to really get the crowd going. Such a talented man. What a game today. Obviously, this was the reaction, of course, when he heard his song being played. Look at this, Kim Chi Lee behind him as well. I say behind him, in front of him, bowing down to him.
Quite rightly so as well. Magnificent voice. When I did hear it, I didn't actually realize it was Monsoon initially, and then when you told me, I was blown away. Such an incredible talent, not only with a mouse and keyboard, but also with his vocal cords. So good to see that we've got so many amazing talents, and it was great to just see the reaction, really.
Downloaded off the internet, hello.
A pretty amazing moment, bringing the community and some of the talents away from
what you laughing at, Rick?
The PC, whatever it might be. To show that it's more than just Apex Legends for some of these characters and amazing people that we have involved in the scene. Smiles on the face of Monsoon, an amazing moment for sure, but now it's got to refocus a little bit here, Dan. Complexity have been so quiet up until today, of course, and that win, it's going to do wonders for them moving forwards.
It will, and they are a team who's been pretty consistent across both maps. I don't think they'll be too disappointed to be transitioning from Stormpoint to World's Edge like some others might. They are actually one of the most even that we have out of anyone in this lobby. So I think that bodes pretty well.
That's how I need a mouse pad like that. I need my shit to cover the whole, what my song got, that's what I need. I need one to cover the whole motherfucking desk.
Into those final lobbies. So we'll have to see whether Complexity can be one of those teams, but they're looking in pretty good nick right now. First place It's about every other team
You know
trying
that
to
mouse
catch
and
them
tea,
up
baby, you gotta
rather
be
than them
sliding there
catching
with it. I
Certainly
need my shit
is
to cover
indeed.
a
Let me tell you, the stands
whole
are filling up
disc.
second by second here in Birmingham as well. The crowd are certainly getting behind their respective teams as well. And it's about time for them to do so once more here, because match 5 is just around the corner. We are into our Legend Select.
Elimination round 1 always does throw a little spanner in the works, because this is
got a
now
little
panic
mouse
time
pad
for
in
every
it.
squad.
That's
Last 4 games,
they
do
had
or
them
die.
little
If
ass
you
mouse pads
find
at,
yourself in the lower 10 teams here, you are done.
Nothing
You are
right.
out of the competition. Are we going to see
Hell,
anyone
right.
throw some
I can't remember what
questionable
we did,
legend
but they had
selections?
them
I do
little
see
ass-
a Caustic in the lobby. Maybe Lemon can do some damage in those final moments in Area 310, just like he did yesterday, and we saw how it was influenced. But you've got to get to that final circle first. You need to make sure you get to that position on the map.
Well, just to give you an update on how the standings are, I'm sure you know at home yourselves if you're watching and you're supporting your favorite teams, as well as everybody who's here in the arena. The team at the moment who's holding down 10th place, Dan, Lecite de France, doing it for Europe at the moment. They are the gatekeepers of qualification.
Yeah, Lecite de France on 21 points, followed closely though by Riddle Order on 19, Go Next on 17, and Pulverex also on 17. And Lecite de France, a very successful World's Edge team so far in the group stages. Around about 261 damage. They do
You
more
should be
on
getting. I
World's
put
Edge
your
than they do
form
on
in a
Stormpoint.
while
It's about those placements
last
they've been able
month.
to find.
That's-
They are
I don't know
consistently
why.
getting to the later stages of the game.
I
But
put
of
the
course, now
form
you're going to
in.
get more of an opportunity to get late games with some of the bigger, heavy hitters into that winner's bracket.
Well, starting off with the winner of our last game, and
Yeah, I put
understandably
that in
so,
last
with a
month
rollback pack
sometime.
to start your game. That's certainly going to
Usually
be
they
a
come
nice little
quick. I don't
addition
know
to
why
the
you ain't got
inventory. But
yours, yeah.
Fnatic, we mentioned how it was almost a surprise. We were talking about this. How it was a surprise that they were down in this elimination side of our bracket and having to fight their way back. They've almost been a mainstay in our grand finals when we do get to the Sunday at these big LAN events. But that win in the last game, seeing you could do what he does best, moving around, smoothing around, outplaying everybody. Now they head into World's Edge, I should say, and they are going to be feeling good because it just takes one win to turn that momentum around.
I think that I saw a lot of discussion on social media about APAC North and why they're struggling so
Partnership
much.
Blaze
And
Mayor
I saw
Curve,
an
if you have
issue.
any
There's a
questions
lot
in
of
chat.
fights,
Oh,
some of these bigger
Lord.
and better POIs. POIs got way better when those changes came through. You do have to start trying to put your foot down a little bit. You do have to start competing for some of these.
Well, let's take a look at zone then. Let's see where we're going on World's Edge. It's looking like we might be heading just north of staging, maybe down to the little buildings at the bottom of the waterfall with the geysers. For now, though, there's a couple of teams trying to make that quick rotate. One of them you can see at the top of your screen. That's going to be Pioneers and Lecite de France. Keep your eyes on the left-hand side of that.
Gotta go back to
logo.
work,
You can see
okay.
next to their name.
We'll
They
see
are
you
the
later, Slick
gatekeepers,
Rick.
like I say, in that final qualification spot. If they can hold that down till the end of today, well, we'll see them tomorrow.
But it sounds simple. With 4 games, that is a lot of points to be secured, and it's going to be slightly different to yesterday when it was just playing the 6. Let's go next. Looking to try and get aggressive and try and push up on any damage they were able to output, but it looks like they're going to back off from that fight. Evac Tower's going to go down, and it'll be about repositioning here.
Yeah, they're trying to get ahead of the traffic at the moment. You see 100 Thieves just beating them on their rotate, but they have to be very aware of MDY White, who are just having a little peek through the choke from Harvester to see if anything went down that they might be able to take advantage of. Speaking of going down, Bambino's got to be very careful here. Maybe just take an extra second to pop a shield batter or a couple of cells to make sure that he can cross to this tunnel alongside his teammates. Elsewhere, you can see, using the catwalk to get through there, Kick have just made their rotation as well, and Kick
On a Topps Honor Award scholarship, they don't cover your book. Topps is still a thing. That's crazy.
Start of the day and Kick uncontested on both maps. You don't have 100
They don't have give you
TSM,
enough for your
and
books.
you don't have the dojo. So you've got 2 very solid POIs to work with if you are Kick. Now, granted, they didn't have the best of times over on Stormpoint from the wall, but at Lava Siphon, you feel like they should be picking up enough points here, at least to get into elimination round 2.
Well, Noise is doing a little bit of recon here on the drone, just to see what the surrounding traffic is looking like. You can also see maybe he might have just picked out there might be a fight breaking out. Go Next under a little bit of pressure. Does manage to keep that drone alive for just a few seconds, but it's actually going to be Pioneers who are holding out Go Next, who are sandwiched between Pioneers and Jailings in this tunnel. So Go Next at the moment, all dressed in white, just the white armors to play with, have to be extremely careful, but it looks like Jailings don't have that armor check information. They're not going to risk anything too early on with just 4 games to go here.
We spoke about Kick and how they're desperately trying to stay alive. The Dark Veil's gone down just to keep them at bay here. make sure they can avoid that vision that is happening from the other
think
side
he
of the
only
train
covers
car.
tuition
Speaking of
last
vision, there's
time I
nothing to be said
remember.
for it. Smokes go down,
Come
they
on,
try and
Kick. I'm
escape.
rooting for them.
I don't think there's going to be too much damage done. This one's just going to be a slow burn.
And he's sitting there playing in a bubble jacket. It must be cold in the motherfucker up in that building.
Hold down these tracks. It's always a pretty good spot to play if you can hold out anyone rotating in from the staging side. Pioneers playing the truck always fills me with anxiety when I see someone inside one of these trucks. Yeah, you can hold it down for quite some time, but we talk about how Fuse
Gotta
is such
root
an
for the
impactful
underdogs.
character now, impactful legend here on World's Edge. You have to be so aware of those knuckle clusters coming in, teams trying to push you with that horizontal. Once again, I can sound like a broken record, but it's not just about controlling the truck. It's about controlling the space around and making sure that teams cannot pressure you easily.
Yeah, you just got to make yourself bigger as a team and put down that damage so you look scarier, so they're not going to be able to press up as easily as you mentioned. Pioneers, they probably just need one more good game and they should be pretty safe here in elimination round 1. But that's easier said than done sometimes. We saw yesterday when teams
I
were
guess
getting
it's cold
really
in there
close
because
to
they
that
got
bubble,
I've been
suddenly
seeing them
started to
have
fall
the
apart a little bit,
hand
and it came
warmers
down
on
to
the
the
desk
last
too
game
because
of
your
the
fingers
day,
get cold,
where
baby.
some
Ain't nothing
squads
like
were able
playing
to
with
sneak
cold
through into the
fingers.
winners bracket. But to
Johnny
get it done
gonna
early
get
would
you.
be far more comfortable for Pioneers and will do wonders for
Why
their
you got her
mentals, that's for
scrunchie?
sure. Now, Onyx Esports, another team in
Why
20th
did you just
position,
go in there and get that
who need to be
scrunchie?
performing,
That's not you.
are yet again one of these
Go
squads
put
who
it back.
have been far better on World's
Look
Edge
at
than
that.
they have been on
Go put it
Storm
back.
Point. And even though that's worrying as the
Scrunchie.
tournament goes on, at least it's some sort of positive
Go
right
put it
now.
back in Johnny Rome. Go
It's
put it
whether
back.
they can just hold Mirage Etoile here, because again, this is a
There, you
really
gotta
strong
line with
position to hold. You've got the elevation. It's difficult for other teams
Johnny
to be
gonna get
pushing you. And because they drop over here, it means they have the chance to hold it from the early game.
Yeah, really important game this for Onyx Esports. They gifted the zone, and now you got to make the most of it, right? Because you know that you've got the extreme high vantage point of Mirage Etoile. You've also got the ability and the knowledge, excuse me, that other teams are going to have to rotate below you, around you, where you are going to have the opportunity to strike them down. MDY White, speaking of being struck down, they will be
Damn,
eliminated
MD White
as our
eliminated.
first team here in game number 5. And Onyx Esports just looking for targets at the moment. This is the god spot for sure.
It is interesting that there wasn't really a contest that went down between 100 Thieves and MDY White. That's good news, though, for 100 Thieves, who really did not want to have to go through a contest, but MDY White still falling early. We're seeing a lot of early Dark Veils being used as well, just to keep some of these squads going, keep them protected, as the circle starts to go even further over towards Lava Fisher and Mirage Artois. Now, Go Next are going to be sitting in Landslide. They're going to be one of the gatekeepers, the main gatekeepers of this circle, because they're the last remaining teams who are arriving going to have to go through them. And really, looking at it, 100 Thieves, Disguised, Complexity, maybe even Pulverex, if they decide to go staging way, may end up going into Area 310. So this isn't fun for those teams arriving late, and I think they're going to know it, because just look how stacked this western side is right now. Everyone moved fast, because on set, it's one of these circles that is a little bit more easy to predict when you see it early on.
Well, Complexity, who did get that win, of course, a little bit earlier on, they are one of the teams who are going to have to work extremely hard for points, but also a team, when they start to give them a little bit of momentum on their side, will be happy to take some 3v3 engagements and force their way into the lobby. Interesting to see if they're still playing Valkyrie as well, because that might give them an opportunity to hit the skies late and look for third-party opportunity of some of those teams who are trying to force their way in and they can steal a spot away. Another one of those teams who is quite some way away from zone right now is going to be Disguised down in 15th position at the moment, and 4 games in, 13 points to speak of.
Yeah, it's not been the best of starts for Disguise, but they are very close to the top 10. I mean, it looks bad when you're down in 15th, but only being, what, 8 points behind another team, that can very easily be collated across a few maps, if not just one, if you have that good game and get to the final circle. So I'd be expecting Disguise to be picking things up. They're one of the teams that should be getting through to the Elimination Round 2, in my opinion, but at a World Championships, we have to send 10 teams home at this point, and it is always so difficult because we have 40 of the best teams in the world going at it, and it's always a shame to have to say goodbye to some of them.
Well, team is trying to work their way in towards zone at the moment, just being held out on this choke. It's going to be Pulverex. Chan taking quite a bit of damage there, trying to exchange shots with the 30-30 repeater, but not being able to really outdo the damage of the team who's holding them out, and that's going to be Riddle Order on the other side down.
And Pulverex need to make a decision fast, because as this round closes, they need to decide whether they want to press up onto Riddle Order or if they want to rotate round towards staging. And if they are too late to make that decision, they just allow someone else to potentially come behind them. Here is Disguised also getting involved.
Yeah, Disguised got that first knock as well, when you saw the 30-30 being the gun to do that damage, and now they want to push on the 100 Thieves. Disguised want to clean this up. Lube will find
Oh,
one as he
shit.
slides in, and a little bit of hip fire with the R99 will take down the second member of 100 Thieves. One player still alive, scarpering away through the vault tunnel, but this is what they'll be looking for here, Disguise, but they have to be careful because Complexity, they're up on the high ground, and with a golden R301, Monsoon is looking for blood.
Yeah, these were our 3 late rotators, so it makes sense that they're all fighting. They realize it's going to be a difficult rotation in, so let's make sure we try and pick up some KP when it's available to us. For Complexity, they can play a little bit more loose. They are ahead. I mean, Monsoon is bobbing with his character at the moment, and I don't blame him. Complexity feeling great.
Well, that fight kind of helped Complexity hugely, right? Because it clears 100 Thieves from their rotation. They're not going to have to worry about them. Disguised didn't want a part of it as well, so they're hitting the blue to redeploy as well. The question is, are they going to be able to get ahead of Complexity here on the tracks, take the high ground away from them, and then become a problem? Or will they be pressured from the Dorito here? The Dorito building in front of me, you can see there is a team in front of them at the moment.
Hey, it be too cold. Welcome to the stream, everybody.
Skull getting rocked for a few
Y'all
seconds
new
by
looking and
Xenos.
liking. Make sure I hit that follow button.
Because they
Come
didn't move
on
quick
in the
enough.
shop.
They did want to make this rotation round to staging, that we wouldn't be able to anymore. But I think Pulverex have full sent it into Lava Fissure, so we'll have to see a little bit later if they were able to survive. At the moment, Disguise
Hey, the
should
cold
be
don't do
okay.
nothing
They
to make me
know
ready to
full
go,
well
be ready to go to
that
sleep.
Complexity are nearby. But at least
That's
they have
all
the high
cold
ground.
do
It's
for
Enter
me.
Force 36, and it's going to be
It was so
initial
cold the
knock,
other night. My
aimbot,
damn
and
toes
it's
was cold, baby. I
Pulverex
said,
indeed.
ooh,
So
yeah, I'm
after
finna
they
sleep
made their rotation
good.
on set, they just went for the full send. It was a last-minute resort because they were being held out by Riddle Order, and they get taken down on their landing.
And this is what I'm always talking about, right? Commanding space. Enter Force 36, see Pulverex make the play. They've been holding down one of those buildings underneath Mirage Etoile for this whole game. As soon as they see them land, they get the first shots in, they get those nades in, and they clean up the damage, meaning anyone else who has to come into that position isn't going to be able to coexist. Fnatic now on your screen. 18 squads remaining. Yuka on our screens as we swap over to Melstera. Let's see what he can do. The flank looks pretty good here. The damage output is strong, and they're going to get the first knock as well.
It's against Lasita France as well as they go down. So Lasita France, remember, they were
Fnatic
that
ran
bubble
down on
team
them.
in 10th position. This is great news for all those below them. Area 310, they also get eliminated. They were trying to work their way into that circle, but Fnatic still going in the moment, still trying to pressure and press. And they need to, because that circle is going to force them in slowly, but it's Pioneers who are down below them.
Yeah, really smart disengage that actually.
It be
from
me
Pioneers.
rub my hair, yeah, rub your hands
with how
together.
quickly it was finished and how handedly the Fnatic dealt with Lasite de France, there wasn't really an opportunity for them to push up and even see Knock going down, that they could turn a 3v2 situation into some KP. So they retreat, they hold down this position, they will be safe in that next zone as well. So a good call from Nasky, the IGL, to just say, hey boys, this isn't the time, let's reset here.
Still hold for quite a while, Pioneers. They don't have to panic at the moment. I will say, with where the ring is going, it's going to be quite a long journey for those who are on the southeast side. But for Pioneers, if they can kind of dominate this northern side, if they can hold out Fnatic and win this fight, they'll be in a really good spot to make their move on into the circle. But with Newcastle locking them down, it means it's difficult for those squads to try and press. As Go Next are having a little one of a peak. It's a dangerous peak, though. It's a very open ground here, and it's a difficult position to find yourself in.
Well, Pioneers now find themselves in a difficult position themselves, because Go Next are kind of pinching them in towards Fnatic, and you can see the utility is now going down, but good shots coming in from Pioneers just to send them back. Say, hey, you want to take this fight? Well, we've got some pretty big biceps ourselves. Well, we're willing to flex. That was a difficult word to say.
Beef Wellington.
Close enough.
J-Lings are holding one of the best positions in the map right now. But it's all about these late arrivals, these squads that are just fighting on the outer edge because no one's been able to get close to the center zone. It's all happening on this eastern side as Fnatic are also showing what they can do on the northern side now against Pioneers. But there's Go Next and Kick and Riddle Order here on set.
Look at Zane. Zane's holding this. Oh, he gets a stick as well. The black hole is good, but it might not be good enough. His two teammates have gone down, and now it's about escaping as a solo. And I was about to say, the situation that is developing here for Pioneers is the nightmare one. There was multiple teams pressuring. Go Next, they were being pressured from behind by Kick, forcing them into Pioneers. Fnatic had to leave their position as well with the zone closing, and Pioneers were just meat in a sandwich.
I mean, this eastern side is nuts right now, but Fnatic are the main winners just because with Pioneers going down, it's allowed them to push out. Go Next, eliminated, but Riddle Order, Kick are still there and are still a presence. This eastern side is just full of squads.
Pioneers up to a 2 somehow or other. And managing to scarper away. So even though they were in a horrendous position, they somehow managed to make the most of it. Riddle Order, though, look like they're going to be chasing down the two remaining members of Pioneers. But can they find them? Once again, the shots are pretty good. Riddle Order now having to smoke and having to be careful not to go down themselves.
You've only got 4 teams in the next circle. That's some good shots, but not going to be enough to keep yourself alive as Riddle Order down to just 1. But all these teams on these, we've got 12 teams that are trying to force their way into the circle at the same time.
God damn.
Both Complexity and Disguise to make their rotate. How we've been following their game so far, and Complexity have got some work to do here. Cody jumping into the beast of the hunt on the Bloodhound, trying to scan, trying to find any kind of vision that he can through this smoke that's gone down. Luda has gone down. Monsoon's still alive as well. Riddle Order eliminated elsewhere on the map, and it's FC Destroy who are holding down this truck.
Yeah, FC Destroy back to back at the moment, trying to cover as much space, using the rocks that are available as Complexity are white as RGO. We're almost down to our last 10 squads, and I tell you what, there's going to be a couple more that fall, because down on this south side, everyone is so close to one another.
You've got FC Destroy, you've got Onyx, you've got Enter Force 36, all pretty much right next to each other, if not above, stacked on each other, and you get the feeling that only one team can leave from this position. Satsuki's gonna go in, Kick do get eliminated, as Northemption now make their move on the eastern side of this zone.
Yeah, Northemption have done well to own that side,
he
but
got
at the moment
eliminated,
it's J-Lings who are still holding dead center, as well as Disguised, who have got in the building in the center of zone, which is one of the most commanding positions to hold, because of course, you're not going to get shot from any angles. You can now just stay alive. And I say building, I mean train car, of course. That's going to be up there and available for them. But FC Destroy still have to find a way up here on set.
Well, this is going to be a continuation of the battle of the southern side of the zone. Amateur with that digi threat. He's also got the L-Star to play with as well, so he is suited and booted and ready to throw down to anybody who wants to challenge, but the zone is closing in just 20 seconds. This fight needs to be ended quickly by one of these teams, and Onyx Esports, by the way, still on top of Barrage Etoile. They're just waiting for the opportunity to pounce.
Yeah, but pounce or leave, you've got to try and choose quickly here, because in 7 seconds, the zone's going to be tickling you. It's J-Lings who hold one of the more commanding positions, but now Enter Force 36 down to just 1. Boys are going to have to try and work with whatever you can here, but there's so much attention over towards him, and even if you get the shield swap, are you really going to survive?
Well, the question is he going to have the health meds in time? He's going to have to walk next to this zone, tiptoe, and hope that that smoke in front of him keeps him alive. Onyx now have to drop. You see them dropping from the high ground. Natsuki has been eliminated, meaning that Pioneers will go as well, and Onyx Esports trying to use his graphic to get away. Oh my God, Crusader!
Damn!
He's hitting anything that moves at the moment, but can Onyx survive?
Trying their best, try as they might, but it's not looking great. 2 have fallen, and they held so long at Mirage Etoile. Triple take as a last stand is not going to do it. 8 squads now remain, but this is where everyone wants to be. In this final circle, over towards the train tracks, Fnatic are still forcing their way in. Remember, they were on the northern side, now they find themselves on the south.
And look at the KP as well, they are starting to stack them up here, Fnatic. The winners of our final game on Storm Point. Well, maybe they want to start off with a win here on World's Edge as well, but now you're seeing J-Lings trying to command the space around them, trying to hold down this spot, but JMW has fallen as Fnatic look down on all of this carnage.
Well, J-Lings held this for so long, but now this is perfect for Fnatic. This is perfect for them to try and push in and finish off the pieces and take control of one of the bigger positions on this map.
But who has moved in on the north side? It's going to be Element 6. Element 6 have been so quiet in this game, but when it matters, they've taken one of the best ones.
Shooting, ain't you?
Hits the hip fire shot with the 30-30 to take Northemption down. We have 5
squads. We were rooting for you.
This is so important for Disguise. As a 2, may I add, they were able to get center zone, but as you quite rightly pointed out, it's Element 6 that have now got into the high ground. They have taken control of the tracks. And the Element 6 fans in the crowd starting to maybe think there is a win on the horizon for them here, especially when Tyler's hitting shots like that.
This is where Tyler does his best work. When he's got bodies in front of him, when he knows he's got the support behind him as well. And there is an example! Duper full! Tyler goes in for the shield swap, will be able to get it, stays alive, J-Lings eliminated. In the meantime, Fnatic still scrapping on the low ground and looking to work their way up.
Realistically, this is Element 6 versus Fnatic. The rest is just rats. You've got 1 from Aurora, and you've got 1 from Disguise.
Hey, Tyra was a motherfucker on that show, baby.
And take a straight 3v3.
Tyler knows it's
that was a good ass show, baby. I used to love America's Next Top Model.
That's going to be a member of Aurora. Disguise have been eliminated in the meantime. It's 9 Impulse from Aurora, the duo who takes down Xenox.
That's when
It's
reality
E6
TV used to
versus
actually
the
be
solo.
reality
90
TV,
points
like
from
the
Aurora,
real
taking on
world.
Fnatic.
This should
Baby,
be
hey.
E6's game. They hold the
Shit
high ground.
used to be
Fnatic have
fun.
to come up towards them with where the circle's moving in. But what's going to make the difference
Yep.
is the
Oh,
rats.
yeah. Oh,
Nine
yeah.
Imps can really ruin someone's
Yeah,
day.
Simon
if he
was
can go
a
unavoided,
motherfucker.
maybe
I
shoot
would have had to
something in the back,
probably
but I
fight
think
him for some
E6
rude
have
shit
spotted
he
him out.
was
Yes, they
saying.
have. And Tyler looks to try and make short work.
Tyler's going to drop on this. He wants that kill when he gets it. He can use the
Aurora
grappling to get
eliminated.
back up
Oh,
into the
duo.
smart play from Tyler.
But they got into
Now
third
he can
place
rejoin
though,
the
so
fight,
I
but the
mean,
problem
that's
is
crazy.
the
They
Dark
are doing
Vader
better
even
without
better
him,
from Fnatic.
kinda.
They completely cut the zone in half.
Fnatic
Step
coming in
through,
with another
and this should
dub.
be back to back here as Mount
Fnatic
Sarah
coming
goes
in with another dub. Okay.
Back to back here in the elimination
Okay,
bracket.
Fnatic.
And I said that Nine Imps could make a difference as a rat, and he kind of did. As soon as Tyler dropped, that was the door wide open for Fnatic. They almost heard that gunfire and instantly sent it on the other two members from E6. But still, Element 6 should be very happy with the top two. But it's about Fnatic, who surely with that solidify their
They
spot
were,
in
yeah, they
elimination
was
round
at
two.
ALGS last year too. I
Back
remember
to back
seeing
for
them
Fnatic.
when they came
Their
out.
fans loving it, but you saw the reaction of the E6 Ultras in the crowd as well. They loved what they saw from their team. Second place, not quite good enough to call yourself a champion in that game, but a huge amount of KP in that end game should start to stack up for them.
And what a performance it was from Fnatic though. When they were on that northern side being held out by Pioneers, waited for Pioneers to get under a little bit of pressure, then they pushed. Then they were able to swoop down on the eastern side and take the southern zone off of all those teams that were fighting a Mirage Etoile, and then dominated therefore, got all of those kills to get a massive game. Great performance.
Fnatic looking like the Fnatic we expected to see here at the ALGS Championships. And for some teams, maybe it's the run you need, the games you need under your belt to find the comp that works in these lobbies. Fnatic look like they might have just found the right recipe.
Wow. I mean, what an opening game on World's Edge where we had absolute carnage unfolding. It seemed like in every area of the map, because it was one of those circles where there was very little buildings to hold down. It meant that you really had to play Edge. You had to try and scrap against one another. And it seemed to be Fnatic who did it best. That now puts them on 65 points. I'm thinking the cutoff's going to be around 43, judging based on the averages that we're seeing at the moment being scored by teams. So at 60, you'd expect them to be well ahead. It's a 15-kill game for Fnatic. Unbelievable.
Yuka supremacy still very much on the cards. Couple of things to talk about though in that end game. J-Links holding down the spot. How many times do we have to talk about it with this squad,
like
right?
3.
Getting into the God spot, looking like they should be the team to win the game, and not quite being able to do it. Yuka playing out to the cameras a little bit. We love to see that, and right.
That tiny ass phone screen, like we can see.
This is your final circle. This is how Fnatic got it done.
And you look at Fnatic in this position, and you're probably thinking, well, how do you win from here? You've got to try and get up. Well, first thing you need is a horizon. They're just waiting for any sort of info. They see 3 squads are left. They don't know if it's a rat, of course, and they just know where that team is. As soon as that gunfire happens and any sort of damage, you're gonna be sending it. So I imagine that Fnatic chose their time wisely and then all arrived at once from Yuka's Horizon grappling.
Do you love me?
Like you say, just finding the time as soon as the gunfire goes down.
Yeah.
And I think the most important thing for them when the Dark Veil went down is they kind of picked the right side to go, right? Of that Dark Veil, they fell into the players who just had their attention taken away with Tyler making that solo play. Final 2 remaining members of Fnatic after the damage was done, managed to clean up.
I'm
and
down,
look
but
at
I ain't
that,
out.
27 points from Fnatic. E6 just behind them with 11. Something to smile about for them.
Yeah, Fnatic now cruising here in elimination bracket round 1. Should be all good to be qualifying through to tomorrow's action here in Birmingham. 3-6, that's a solid game of 11, disguised as well as a duo, getting into the latter stages.
Scared of you.
Just being able to rescue something and keep their hopes
Scared of
alive.
you. Appreciate the
They were
reset.
down in 15th before this game started, but now they find themselves up in 10th position.
Onyx Esports, from the position they were in, probably a little bit disappointed to not just come out of it with not a huge amount of placement points, but also just the 3 kills with that vantage position they had at Mirage Etoile for quite some time elsewhere.
Let's
we saw 100 Thieves
go.
really struggling on that rotate. It was a tough one for them to make, of course, but even in the very opening moments of the game, they were under pressure. Maybe had to go to plan B, plan C. And then they got caught over at Harvester by Disguised. Riddle Order, only a couple of points to them as well. Complexity, not a huge game from them. It was very interesting to watch Complexity and Disguise kind of going against each other. It's almost like they were shadowing each other for the entirety of their rotations.
It really was, and it happens sometimes in Apex, doesn't it? Where you will have a team that you might shadow or mirror throughout the entire series, and sometimes you have to get the better of them if you are to come out on top. But I'm worried for the likes of 100 Thieves, Onyx Esports, even Jay Lings. That's 18th, 19th, and 20th at the moment in the overalls here. And as I was mentioning earlier, we think roughly around 43 points should have you safe. That's just a guess based off averages that are being scored so far. So if you're looking at that, the likes of Complexity, E6, FC Destroy are just about there, and Fnatic should be a guarantee.
Trying to make some progress
from Fnatic. Back-to-back wins for them. And I'll tell you what, if you're in the arena at the moment and you fancy trying to imitate what some of these players are doing on the main stage, well, good news. You've got an opportunity to. Peeps wants to give us a tour of the Apex
I got them right
Legends
before I went to
Onset and Gaskin, thank you so much. We are here at the Apex Legends Free Play Lounge. Thanks to our awesome partners at PlayStation Tournaments. So we got some gamers here. We got a bunch of setups. And if you win a game of Apex, you get a token and you're able to win some prizes here. Let's check in with our gamers. What's up, man?
Yeah.
Dude, what is your name? Where are you from? And what is your favorite legend?
My name is Fassi. I'm from UK, and Pathfinder is my favorite legend.
I love that. Who do you got winning the championship this week? TSM?
Yeah.
I love that. And my man, what about, are you guys friends?
Yeah, we are. We actually met through Apex in a random lobby. And then when I moved to the UK from Pakistan, we met together once, and then this is the second time of us meeting, and we were like, okay, let's just get together here. And yeah,
that is absolutely insane, man. I know a lot of people got the same story where they meet a lot of friends through Apex. Well, you heard it here. Come make some friends at the Apex Legends Free Play Lounge. And not only that, possibly win some prizes. Casters, back to you.
Thank you so much, Peeps. And I've got to say, Dan, 1v1?
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 I'll take it.
I'm not making bets of you anymore after how the first one went, but great to hear Pathfinder Mains, by the way, being represented. E6 also being represented in the loudest way possible here in Birmingham. Dan's dancing along with you as well. He is loving it. You've also got the MDY fans in here. I'll tell you what, it's getting a bit competitive, not just on the main stage here, Dan, but between the groups of fans. All friendly competition, of course.
I mean, it's only get bigger and better, isn't it, as the week goes on. But shout out to the guys, always making sure the energy is high in the arena, and it's just perfect. I think as a player, if you see that kind of support for you, it must just give you that extra little buzz, that extra incentive to try and get that W.
Yeah, 100%. And now getting the W is, of course, what it is all about. We are now just 3 games remaining, Dan, in this first round of the elimination bracket. And all of a sudden, I'm sure the teams are thinking, down in that bottom 10, do we have what it takes to put enough points on the board to see us through to tomorrow? For those teams, it's about the journey now, right? It's about not wanting to go home today, get through to tomorrow, and then think about Sunday after that. But I tell you, I'm kind of nervous for them.
Yeah, there's 10 teams that are only going to play 3 more matches of Apex, and whilst that is sad and it is disappointing for those that have traveled around the world to try and compete on this bigger stage, that is what the ALGS is about. Competing and making sure we find the best teams possible, and certainly it seems like we are going to whittle it down to 30 very shortly. Now, jumping into a Legend Select, you're going to see pretty consistent things across the board. Bangalore and Catalyst, and then it depends what you add on top of that. Is it going to be a controller legend so you can get that ring console information, or do you want to go for something a little bit more aggressive? Do you want a Horizon on the board? Is Catalyst going to be enough for you to get the ring console, or do you want someone else? I'm loving to see what we have with legend selection and comp differences, but at the same time, I do miss a couple of legends, you know, and I'm hoping that maybe next year we'll start to see them appear. Don't ask me who.
I'm not going to ask you who, because we'll fall out on the main stage. Anyway, match number 6 is live. It's ready to go here in Birmingham. After this game is done and dusted, and the bullets have settled on World's Edge, we will only have 2 more games today to find out who our top 10 will be going through to tomorrow.
We're dropping into World's Edge. I'm keeping a keen eye on Monument and Fragment again, but it seems like MDY White and 100 Thieves are happy to split the difference once more. And J-Ling's going to be making their long journey over towards Overlook. It looks pretty clean on the map, but our winners, Fnatic, they will have a safe drop as well over towards Survey Camp and Epicenter. They spread themselves out quite thin, but it looks like no one's going to be really wrestling with them here, so they're going to be safe to do their loop path.
Well, teams to keep an eye on in this lobby, in this game especially. We're always talking about the top 10. They're the ones who go through to play some more Apex Legends tomorrow. The team who holds down that 10th place spot, taking it away from Lasite de France, who had it just before, they're going to be disguised. They have 25 points. They are 4 points clear of Riddle Order, who are chasing them down.
So E6, Complexity, Northeption, MDY White are all very close to getting towards that points total that I was suggesting and could be safe after this game. But it's very worrying for those at the bottom now. We need to see big performances that you were speaking of.
I mean, speaking of Lasite de France, right, they just lost their qualification spot in that last game. They find themselves in 12th going into this game. Well, look at the zone. Look at the ring console that they've got as well. If they've got a character who can hit that and give them the information, they are going to be in such a good spot. There is nothing, I would say that's probably the best priority you could possibly have in this game to maybe get back into that top 10 if they can convert.
You say that, but they had pretty good priority to the last zone as well, but they got kind of forced out early on, and they lost that fight when they were trying to hold down Countdown, but it's going to be another attempt going over towards Countdown for Lasite de France. I don't personally like Landslide as a POI to be dropping at in a tournament. It is one of the worst loot pools for me, I find, so I'm just expecting Lasite de France to struggle a little bit with their loot unless they get very lucky, and other teams maybe to take advantage of that.
You can see they've left with white.
Yeah.
Never a good feeling. However, a good feeling is knowing that you got a pretty good spot in the zone. Onyx Esports, they had a pretty quick rotate as well, as they always do. But 20th position for a team who have been pretty consistent across this year in the ALGS, especially on the global scale as well. So questions to be asked, for sure. 3 games left, including this one, of course, to right the ship.
And I wonder how much that's going to hurt Lasite de France as well, because had they found better armors, they may have stayed around Landslide. Look, we can see people arriving, Pioneers setting up at Landslide. They're looking at this circle saying, well, actually, you know what? This high ground, the fact we've got Castle Wall, we can make this a little bit of a fortress. Lasite de France would have loved to have done that, but with just white armors, there's no chance that they can survive. That's why they moved off a little bit to maybe a safer area.
On 2-star, shaking it
We're
out.
having some and for Force 36, you see, kind of just scared them away there, Kick Esports, who continue merrily on their way and on their rotate. The team who is holding down the Vault Tunnel, which does lead to Landslide. Well, that's going to be MDY White. Elsewhere, we mentioned Lasite de France dropping with perfect prio to this zone. Over at Landslide, of course, now moved over to Countdown, and they're under pressure here. And like you said, Dan, they only have those white armors to play with, but they do have the gen, which is going to eat up those grenades.
It eats up the grenades, but you can see that Northeption really want to push up on this. And Lasite de France took a very defensive position on this map because of those armors, but they might just be swept through. Northeption shut down Lasite de France, and even though they had the drop at Landslide, did not give them really anything to work with, as now J-Lings also having a fight on their rotation.
This is really bad news for J-Lings. They have been struggling so much at the moment. It's Go Next who are going up against them, so it's EU on EU action. EU on EU warfare at the moment here, and Go Next, who are in 14th, might be able to clean up the pieces here. J-Ling's starting to fall apart when it really matters, Dan, and Noise is left on his own.
And it's so unexpected when you look at the stats and how J-Lings have been playing on World's Edge. They were the best World's Edge team in this lobby from group stages, and they just can't really seem to find that same form. Granted, still 2 maps remaining, and they are still alive right now, so it's not all doom and gloom, but things not looking good for the J-Lings roster.
Aurora now moving in as well, and I'm pretty sure they got the information that that is going to be Noises, the solo player, but so difficult to push because MDY White are poking and prodding from that tunnel. Noises right now doing his best one-man army impression. He's saying, do you know what? We're not done here in this game. Even though I'm a solo player, I'm the last standing for my squad. If you want to push me, it's going to hurt.
I mean, he wants to desperately try and do as much damage as possible. Good sign is he's going up against white armors, so this is still winnable. And if you can get away, he has both those banners. You can deliver them to a beacon.
Also might have an EMP available. And that could completely change the
they
complexion of this fight. What a moment this is for J-Lings, right? Aurora as the duo, trying to pressurize, trying to poke, but Noises is making himself as big as possible here. He does not want this game to end.
He's Phoenix being very patient, but now Aurora starting to try and close that gap. Good shots though. You need to bait and switch if you're a 2 and that's happening, but Noises really wants to take advantage of that damage, but it was not possible.
Good try.
And J-Lings will fall and Aurora
that's
as the
Aurora
duo
duo?
still survive. 18 squads now remain.
They've been doing alright for a duo though. I ain't gonna lie.
They did pretty
They've
well.
been
You have
doing
to say, in that
alright for a
situation,
duo.
just make sure that one of them didn't go down.
What
and
you
give
up
an
to today,
opportunity for a
Cammy?
finish, a shield swap, and for a magical moment of Jailing staying alive.
It's Friday,
Thanks to the play
y'all.
coming in from
This
Noises.
weekend, I mean, it took
32 more
forever.
damage from Noises with that R9, and he might have been able to take that 1v2, but that can be the fine differences between staying alive and unfortunately getting shut down. Now, Circle is starting to fill up a little bit. Go Next and Aurora, a Riddle Order still outside. Complexity as well, actually. Still all the way down at launch site. They're going to be arriving very late. But this circle is going to be ending in and around Landslide. So Pioneers did quite well to take that prime position right on top of the train carts, or where the train carts used to be.
Imagine, that's going to be crazy. That's going to be crazy.
They can hold on for the rest of the game.
If they make it, that's going to be fucking crazy.
From the Harvester side of the map, this is mid-map at the moment, trying to.
And then everybody going to be like, damn, I guess they third was the problem.
To them when that zone does start to close. Caustic Barrel's going to be a problem.
That's still fucked up, man.
Time to clear the lungs here for the kick.
But now they got to play it. I don't know if they made it a choice to play as a duo, or is it because they took the third name off and they just got to play as a duo.
Kicker slowly but surely pushing up, but in that vault is a Caustic, and on the other side is the Pioneers. So this is not a fun place to be down towards the vault area.
And gaming in, got you on the big screen. Okay.
Player of Area 310, and if you want to be a solo, if you want any legend, I mean, Caustic is probably the best one to be.
Let's go.
Keep trying to push onto this final player alive, but they don't want to overstep the mark. Once again, the barrel just being nothing short of annoying for them to try and step through.
I can feel, so this is your charge rifle, right? The charge rifle is the thing that annoys me most. I can feel it
Wait,
now.
they got a
Caustic
Loba?
is what really gets your blood boiling.
I would be
What?
sliding
They
in
didn't pull a
to
Loba
maybe
out?
But you'd still get the damage, and that's what matters. The teammates would then finish it off. Here we go.
Zera doing his best onset impression. He finally goes in, slides in, says enough of the Caustic, and Kick will eliminate Area 310. The Vault Tunnel is now there.
They deserve to get eliminated pulling the
Pioneers
Loba out.
to play a little bit closer to his teammates, but now you're seeing the action start to pick up just
It's not a
outside
time
of
for
Monument
Loba.
at the moment. It's Go Next, who we saw a few moments ago.
Yeah, they
trying
couldn't
to
use the
pressurize
emergency
Jailing
stuff,
for
yeah,
them. Got
but
this rotate and then trying to push up on the tunnel.
So MDY White are going to be
they
holding
decided
down
to
the
go
tunnel. They
with
used to be
nobody. Like,
Go Next
instead of
needs to
saying,
be
okay,
careful
well,
they
he can
don't
play, instead
all
of,
push
like,
in the
what the
same
fuck?
direction. You want to try and create angles here. Maybe try and surprise MDY White. You've got the smoke down, so you
I
can
guess
be
somebody
a
didn't read the rule book.
and you've got the digi threat to work with too. And if you think today's going to be fun having a digi threat, tomorrow's when it gets even more fun. Digi threat in the crafter, Bangalore's all round.
Somebody didn't read the rule book when they thought they could just use the emergency sub.
Don't have to worry about up and down at the moment because the tunnel's going to do that for them.
Camp
but
is wild,
they know the
yeah.
pressure is coming.
I don't understand why
from
they
Go
pulled a
Next.
big low,
They do
pulled
have the
low
option
out
to
of there,
rotate
like
north,
low.
but it's going to be a different proposition to take care of if they do
Yeah,
make
they
that
should've known
play.
they
So
was
this
finna
could
die.
just be a straight up 3v3 at the moment. Nobody else is really anywhere near enough to influence this fight.
I think
See,
actually
they
one of
pulling
the
Big
teams that
Yibby out
is
a
in
lot
pretty
more,
good
too.
spot after watching them earlier in the vault is Kick, because if Kick can hold out that southern side and the vault, they can stay alive for quite some time and maybe even get into top 3 from the position they find themselves in. MDY White might feel similar over towards that tunnel, but they know they're being threatened by Go Next in the moment. As for Disguise, they're arriving from this eastern side, and I said that the Digi-Threat was going to be in the crafter tomorrow. It's already in the crafter, so that's my mistake.
Long
That
hours
means-
down. I don't know what day it is either.
Is it Friday, Saturday, Sunday? I don't even know at this point, but that's why we're seeing so much Digi-Threats, and that's why Lou's got one in his hands, as we're going to see 9 imps get taken down. Aurora now just a 1.
Still alive though.
I don't know,
They
Esby. I didn't
return
watch the
to
stream,
zone.
so don't
Disguise
get me
now kind of
lying.
inching their way in, but their next proposition is going to be Fnatic, who are holding down one of those chokes. Elsewhere, Complexity on our screens. You mentioned how Kick were holding down that vault tunnel down. Well, that might be their next engagement, as they're going to have to try and force their way through.
You can't climb.
But Complexity do have the armor advantage here. Now, the question is, can they get that opening damage? Kick will be watching this like a hawk.
Yeah, Kick just
They
trying to
better
take
whoop
some
Kick ass
unexpected
now. Complexity better not lose this
Ponzera gonna
fight.
be holding just on top of this crate. It's whether Complexity even want to try and take this fight, but they may be forced to, as Disguise now are going to be pushing up onto go next here. And remember, MDY White are not so far away.
Well, here's Lou, trying to play a cheeky angle. He's caught at the moment in that mother load. The ultimate is causing huge problems for Disguise. If they get pushed or naded here, this could be the end of it.
Shit.
Yes, it's going to be 2 who go down. It's all up to Dupe. Dupe on his own. But
And
he's
he getting
Fnatic
shot
as
at by
well,
somebody else. It's over.
eliminated. Disguise also eliminated. And
Fnatic
that was the worry
came
for me
in
with
for the third
rotate.
party.
Fnatic were always just lurking and waiting for a fight to break out.
But so were MDY White. MDY White have left that tunnel and are now challenging Fnatic. They were both heads down, hunting these squads, looking
Come on,
for that extra
Hemi.
KP, and now they're just having pop
You need
shots
some
against
heavy
one another
bullets,
to say,
baby.
hey, you have
There
that
you
loot,
go.
we'll have this loot, we can share it and go back to our positions.
Elsewhere on the map, Red Lorder now, we mentioned how they are on the cusp of
Yeah,
qualification.
Fnatic did good last year,
And they're
Ezzy.
hitting some good shots through the smoke, but there's those missiles swarming in.
Ooh,
The
shit.
knock doesn't quite come in. Can they
Oh,
connect?
shit.
Keep a shot coming in from Jusna to keep Red Lorder on the back foot here.
Ooh.
The extra last player alive. Can he
Ooh,
win it? Yes, he
come
can
on,
win
Hemi.
against one. But
Damn.
doesn't quite have it in him to win against another player from Gambare Oitasane Jusna, who made that big play with a PK, 2 shots that connected.
And each one of these fights, they're so important on set as well, because you've got to be getting those points on the board.
That
You
was
need to
nice,
be doing
hell
it now with
yeah.
only 2 games remaining after this. E6 eliminated. It was a top 2 before, but they could not replicate it, even with a somewhat similar zone. As now Fnatic are going to be pushing up on MDY White, saying this tunnel looks quite good.
I mean, they have to fight it. It's as simple as that. The zone is forcing them into this engagement. And Fnatic, who are going to have to take a few seconds here to heal. You can see Yuka and Melzera have to pop batteries. Are going to rely on Umachanchich to keep
It's the fact that once
pressure
you
on.
fight, you gotta keep fucking
reset
fighting.
has come on.
Like they just went from one
It
fight
looks like
to the next
Fnatic
fight, looted
might be
up,
losing this
rotated
fight.
in the cave, back in another
MDY
fight.
moving in, trying to pick up the pieces. The spray with the Nemesis. The Peacekeeper's here as well.
Fnatic
will
eliminated.
not get the 3-peat. And it's MDY White who clean them up.
100 Thieves are in trouble as well.
shit.
Omnu now the last to remain. Arcstar's going down, but it is a 1v1. Northeption on the other side, great damage, and he knows he's flesh too, as 100 Thieves eliminated elsewhere. And Northeption, even though they were able to win that engagement thanks to some help, now what do? You're stuck between a rock and the ring on this northern side, and there's other teams that have already got eyes on you.
It's Onyx Esports. Onyx Esports who are still alive, by the way. Remember how quickly they made their rotate to that truck. Well, now they've cleared out this side of the ring. If they could take care of that solo, it would be massive for them. But here's the
Complexity
fight
and
we were
kick
waiting
fight.
to see.
Monsoon
The
got one
Vault
of them
Tunnel,
down.
access to landslide about to be decided. Complexity got that first knock, but are they able to capitalize on it? Can they close the space and keep the pressure on the knock? It's turned into 2, and now you see Complexity force their way into zone.
Yeah, Complexity making sure that last remaining Kick player was running with the tail between their legs as Kick gets eliminated because they ran into Pulverex, who are waiting on the other side of
Kick
this tunnel.
eliminated,
As
all
are
right
MDY
now.
White, by the way, looking to try and take down Pulverex.
I was
So
about to
there
say,
is
I
so
know
much action on
Complexity
this
better
southern
not
side of the
lose, but
circle right now.
goddamn.
Aurora gone as well. The solo player
Kick
is
now,
out of here.
shit.
Pulverex as a duo. How many times have I said that over the last
Aurora
couple of
just
years?
got
Apex
eliminated too, I
Legends?
think.
Oh, it might not be a duo for much longer, though. They have the banner, and they can get that beacon in.
Oh, Excel being popped here as well. Complexity trying to plan their next move, trying to work their way out. They will be able to scan. They do have the Bloodhound in the composition, so they're not going to be caught off guard. Northeption, the solo, has been eliminated as well. Leica could not eke out a few more placement points. So now that means that Onyx were in a position to control the northern side of the zone, but here comes the push for Complexity.
Also, the final player of Pulverex back onto the map now will be respawned. And all the meanwhile, Pioneers still up in their castle on top of Landslide. 7 squads remain, but one of them is Complexity. They're going to be arriving from the south here, and they do have a lot to work with, as you can see in Monsoon's hands.
Well, Monsoon, he's already shown he can hit the right notes when he's got a microphone in front of him, but can he hit the right ones with the Kraber here and allow Complexity to leave this Vault Tunnel? 1 bullet, 1 shot changes everything here for Cole.
And you could see the angles he was trying to take. He was trying to sneak up. He was very careful. He was aware of where the Pioneers were. He did have a potential shot lined up, but as soon as it wasn't available, he quickly backed down. Now, these are the kings of the castle, quite literally, Pioneers. They have the castle wall set up. They can rain down hell from above. and they should be good. Unless another team decides to full send it, which they may not even have the opportunity to, Pioneers should be good for top 3 minimum.
Well, they're going to be smoked off here. The smoke was from Complexity, but Onyx Esports are looking at this as well. They're trying to 3-2-1. Aren't able to do so, and I'm pretty sure that was Monsoon who was just scuttling away once again to survive alongside his 2 teammates. MDY White and Complexity, by the way, have been fighting for so long, but now you're seeing Gambale or Tasan have a fight. Enter Force 36 also involved in this scuffle. I catch my breath for just a few seconds.
Oh, it gets you that one. I've been there before. Geo versus E36. Sometimes that's the easier way to say it, but another one falls as Geo go down. 6 squads remain, and it's Pioneers from a distance just adding gunfire to every fight right now because they can see the lay of the land. They can see everything. The lay of the landslide, should I say.
Very, very smart from you. At least you can string some sentences
together. What team is that? I don't know what team
it's good for both of us. Anyway.
MD White, okay.
Having won that fight, excuse me, having watched that fight go down,
MD
still have to deal with Complexity.
Ooh.
The arm shield still eating a lot of that Kraber bullet from the Gibby, but Complexity need to make their move soon.
Yeah, Complexity can't afford to stay here because they're going to be forced out and they will be in the vision of the likes of Onyx, the likes of Pioneers. They do have smokes to work with. Monsoon taking his angles and says, you know what, screw you guys up there, I'll smoke you as well. Here we go.
There's a 140, that's the opportunity to push, but there's the Gibby bubble as well, but they will have to leave in just a few moments' time. Does Mon have the timing on this? Can't quite connect. As the Gibby jumps over the bullet.
I mean, Gibby bubble plus Rolling Thunder going down. Complexity. This is their chance to try and escape.
They are safe though. They are safe. As long as Monsoon can keep smoking off, Pioneers up on that high ground, they will be able to survive here for a few moments.
But heaven, it's just arrived. Oh, Monsoon! Still alive, but I tell you what, that was dangerously close.
They are being focused at the moment by Pioneers up on that high ground. Enter Force 36 as well. They're finding out what it feels like to be at the end of Zane's 30-30.
And E36 are not in the worst position. With where this circle moves, it's going to move to E36 side of this crane. So Pioneers are actually going to have to move across the crane if they want to. But they're still in one of the commanding positions, of course, with the elevation they have.
Pulverex still alive, by the way, as a duo. It's what they do best. Here comes the push. Finally, we're going to see the fight. Cody! Cody with the big shots with a PK. Complexity are winning this. Complexity have won this fight that's been going on for so long. But can they get the shield swap? Because here comes Onyx.
Onyx want to get involved on this one, but they're being pressed from the other squads as well. Pioneers are looking down on it, saying, you know what? We're not allowing anyone to have a free push. We want a little bit of this damage.
Complexity still alive for the moment. EMP going down as well.
Yeah.
As Zane tries to take this off angle, but has this just opened the door, Dan? Has this just provided the invitation here for Enter Force 36 to enter the fight at just the right time?
I think it's actually perfect for them to avoid the fight, because Enter Force 36 can just go onto this western side. Pioneers down to 1, Zane the last remaining player, but he gets shut down. Luda's still alive. Complexity managed to stay here, dominating, but Luda should fall, and it does. 3 squads now remain.
Okay, top 4, they came in 4th, okay.
Enter Force 36
they were in
now
an
make the
ugly-ass
contest on that high
predicament right
ground.
there, guys.
They will take it away. They will command the top of this crane.
Pulverex is still alive, by the way, as a 2. They took the northern side when Pioneers, they moved off of the north. And Onyx is still a 2-2. This is great for E36.
Onyx have taken control of the zone. Enter Force 36, though, they have control of the height. And you'd be very surprised to maybe see E36 throw this away. By the way, Pulverex, Shunmi, F-Chat, no shields whatsoever to play with here. But still alive, so who cares?
I mean, I've seen crazier things happen, but you'd imagine that this is unwinnable for Pulverex. And it should be extremely winnable for Enter Force 36, but this win could be enough to send them into elimination round 2, so there's no reason for them to take any risks here. You play this safe, you play this riskless, you ensure this victory.
Aimbot with a digi-threat. Living up to his name right now as he's shredding through Raki on the low ground. Onyx Esports eliminated, and you said it was impossible for Pulverex? Well, if they could get a couple of shield swaps and something wacky happens, then maybe they could do it themselves. But Enter Force 36, they will fall. They will clean up the pieces.
All right.
And E36 get the win on the board.
E36 with what could be the most important victory that they've seen so far yet in their careers, as it could be enough to send them into elimination round 2.
Right,
because with only 2 games left, there's only a certain amount of points available. They've crossed that kind of 40+ point threshold that I mentioned earlier. As for Pulverix, though, a second place as a 2. They even tried to get their final player back in, but he was ripped out of the skies. But E36, well, they did perfectly there when all the action was happening, when Pioneers joined that fight on the eastern side. E36 looked at it and said, no, we don't really fancy that. Actually, Dark Veil's giving us perfect coverage to get up on top of the crane, and suddenly, we are the kings of the mountain.
As the games start to slip away here in Elimination Bracket Round 1. A win like that with just 2 games remaining on World's Edge, Dan. You can see how much it means to E36. Huge smiles, but I think equally smiles as happiness as they are of relief.
As we get closer and further in this tournament, and with match point looming once you get to those grand finals, every win is not only important for getting closer to the grand finals, but of course giving you that confidence if you are to be there that you could maybe be lifting that trophy. For all we talk about the biggest teams like TSM and Dark Zero, this is still anyone's game at this tournament, but it all starts here in Elimination Round 1.
Certainly does indeed. So 2 games to go here in Birmingham to find out who's going to be in that top 10. For now though, we're going to send it over to the analyst desk. So Rain Day, take it away.
Thank you so much, Onset and Gaskin. Great calls. After 6, things are tight at the top. Seeing a lot of contests, especially in the APAC side of things, and I know complexity continue their winning or
so they
close
can
to
get in
winning
this
ways.
the next
Exciting
bracket
stuff here
here.
in our elimination round
They doing
1.
what
Of course,
they
I'm
need
joined
to
by the
do.
desk with Spider Tiff now and
Welcome
Zephyr.
back,
She's adding some color.
Mint.
Tiff, I love the blue. It is making us pop finally up here, and of course, Graceful down there, always looking good, always saying the right things. Tiff, I want to start with you. What have you seen after these last 3 before we head into the final zone?
Well, first off, I saw Fnatic supremacy, right?
That's
you got
right.
the Yuka signs down there, and I've been having a lot of fun witnessing all the APAC North teams fighting it out through the elimination round 1, and it's just been really impressive. A lot of those teams needed to stand up for that region to make a showing for that finals day, and they are laying it all on the line, and it's been very magnificent to watch.
Speaking of finals, let's go to the final circle, Graceful. Walk us through how this ultimately ended up.
This circle is one I have played one too many times, all the way since Trainyard pretty much. I've been in this spot for maybe 3.5 years. This ending for Enter Force is, I'm gonna be completely honest and tell it the way I see it from a pro perspective, free. The one thing though that I don't think we got too much glimpse of it is how they took the high ground. You don't go for the win anymore, because also it was a 2v2 at the bottom, 2v2v3, but at this point you don't say, oh, we're gonna win this game. You say, okay, we need to wipe the other team. If they get cracked, we're
On
sending
Final
it, and that's
Fantasy,
it.
we got some kind of boss or something we got to fight, don't we?
Even more important for Enter Force, especially because
so
they don't
much
have
going
Ryzen
on.
in this scenario. Had they not found that height
Nah,
earlier,
bro.
they would have ended up doing what Graceful says.
Boss,
and
we
playing
got to
for second.
donate.
I think one of the things too, when you look at this, 18 points is not a massive game, Zephyr. When you look at this, it was more of a tame, well-placed game, good performance, but overall we're not seeing like a 32, a 37, which we have sometimes
They're
seen
starting
here.
5
So still,
hour up under these
it's
events.
7 points separating 2nd to 6th place in this lobby. Anyone can win.
There's still a lot of opportunities for so many of our teams to come through here, even though we only have 2 games to go, and it just goes to show.
Actually
talk
trying
about
to stay
some
up
of
the
these
cup,
final
baby.
zones.
The day
We're
is
seeing
early,
upwards of
shit.
11, 12, 13 teams still
The
alive
day is
upwards
early.
into Zone 4 and further. Goes to show why you have such a top stacked point settlement.
And Tiff, this is obviously a sign as you look at the overall series results, not just of there's possibilities, anybody can do it, APAC representing, but also this is an elimination bracket round 1. So now that you head into these final 2 games, not only is this entire day a little bit different than some of these teams might normally play in a winner's bracket where there's more wiggle room, now you've got only 2 games left. So how does that change things, and who are you most looking at?
Oh
with now
no,
only
the
2
boss on
games?
this
Maybe
game.
to be under fire, or maybe in a really nice position outside of Fnatic.
Look, it's tough, right? I look immediately to that
This
10th place
game, the
positioning.
boss,
Pulverex, they
yeah,
were
gotta be
so close to advancing onto that winner's bracket, but just missing that cutoff and sitting there with Disguised on 28 points. It opens the door for all of the teams that are sitting kind of on the cusp with only 2 matches. So Area 310, Gombre, Aurora, even as a duo, and even down to the fact of Riddle Order, the fact is there's not that many points separating that bubble from advancing onto the 6th. So even all the way up to Pioneers, if something crazy happens on these last 2 maps,
I didn't even know you was in here. How I'm gonna call your name out? Hey, boss.
if you know that you have to essentially point sponge on these last 2 maps, you are going to enact full-on aggressive gameplay.
And one of the things maybe most surprising right now is looking at 100 Thieves. I mean, not just a premier org in the gaming esports space, but
No,
also
100 Thieves
a
is not
premier
doing
team
good
in
at
terms of
all
their
today.
performances across the years, actually sitting in last place right now with 10 points. Will there be
I damn
enough
near
time?
forgot they was in
I
this
know North
bracket, because
America
I ain't
will be
really seen
asking
their
themselves
name
that
pop
question
up in
as
the
we take a
kill
little
feed or
break,
nothing.
but in Tokyo, there's another group of fans watching, and I believe CyberZ is helping that watch party get off and making sure they're having a fantastic time checking into the ALGS, seeing Fnatic represent and all of APAC show out. So big shout outs to Tokyo CyberZ. I've been to Tokyo once only. It is one of my favorite trips ever. My cousin taught Japanese out there for 5 years, and having the chance to visit, I gotta say, an incredible city. Thank you so much for supporting, obviously, the ALGS and all of these wonderful teams from APAC North. Now, of course, you know what it is. It's time for Rain Day to get hyped. It's my favorite segment. It's WD Black. What's in your pack? And today, we got one of my favorite weapons as well. Graceful, the R99.
Let him stay over there on that
It has been
green screen.
dominant so far in this tournament.
The R9, as people can imagine, is that when we pick up weapons, we look at how well are they gonna, place or do well in certain ranges, right? Normally now people just play Peter plus an SMG because you fit all the ranges. SMG can be essentially your shotgun.
Damn,
your
look at
weapon,
that tracking.
But mainly
Oh
your primary
my
weapon,
gosh.
which is mid-range. And like I said, if you see in any fight here, like this fight right here, mid-range, you don't need a flatline, you don't need a carbine. Like R9, CAR, any SMG will smoke everyone.
Let's talk about this, Graceful, because it has had a couple of adjustments to the R99 as of recently.
Baby, they've been sliding with that 9-9. They've been running 9-9, 30-30, a 9-9 hemlock.
17 bullets, so it's really advantageous to go ahead and secure a
That has
mag.
been the gun
and still
comp.
people are vying
I've
for
seen a
that
few
weapon
cars out
over
there.
What you would see is like the sister, the CAR SMG.
Yeah. So the biggest thing that people have to think about is CAR actually has
Yeah, the 9-9, 30-30, or the 9-9 hemlock. I done seen a few people crafting them.
That could be a reason for why people are not as comfortable with the.
I done seen a few people crafting them.
R9. The thing when we talk about 17 bullets in a mag is that it just loses its
one up,
early
rather.
game
I don't know if
prowess.
they crafted it or
We're
they got
talking
us
about pro
somebody
players
buy
here.
it,
The only time we're in early fight is in contesting, and not every team or majority of teams aren't contesting.
Is
So
his
they're going to
arms
buy for a weapon
burned
that they're
up?
comfortable
Like he
with.
got burned,
They picked
like
it up from mid or
30
late game.
burn
It
on
still
his
shreds
arm.
everyone. As you can see, everybody's been tearing everybody apart with it.
Man, it's unfortunate. The only way to not have somebody rushing the same weapon that you are off drop is to become a pro player. It's like, it feels like that's backwards, guys. I don't know how that is. Thank you again for another
Yeah,
WD
the guy in
Black.
the middle
What's in your
definitely
pack?
messed it
The
up.
R99 having a great one this tournament so far. Closing remarks before we send it back over to the casters. Tiff, I'll start with you, and Zephyr, I want to get your thoughts. And what are we expecting these last two games to tell us?
Shit.
I think we're going to see a little bit of chaos, right? For the teams that have a must-win condition, they know that they already have that point disparity between them. They are going to look to find as many eliminations as possible, whether that's grabbing the weapons early on that they're very comfortable with, and just full sending anyone and everyone. I imagine that macro, the zone predictability is going to go out the door.
For me, a little bit of the coach's effort going to come out here. At the end of the day, from 20th to 10th, there's only 18 points that separates you from tomorrow. If you're hitting a win, that is at minimum almost 15 points for you to work with. One good fight on top of that, and you are clearly on your way to the further competition. We can accept some chaos, but for some of these teams, you don't actually have to go too crazy. Play the game you know and win it strong.
Harder question. I want to see if you've been paying attention, if you've been predicting who in the bottom 10 is going to make it into the top 10 in these next two.
So, who is going to? Who do I want to? Who do I want to?
It's Graceful thinks he has control over this. Who does he want?
You know who?
Then they'll just do it.
You know who's
J-Links,
good enough?
perhaps, a team
Yes.
we had
You
talked
know what?
about?
I think Duo Aurora is making it. You know what?
Aurora?
Yeah, you know what? I believe in my people. You know what? And then, J-Links, 100. J-Links. My boys,
J-Links.
my old teammates. I love all of you so much. I know you guys got this in the bag. It's like scrims.
We're going to end on that. He did a great throw there. And, of course, we're going to take you to a quick break. When we come back, our final two games of the evening, the elimination bracket sends 10 teams home. We'll find out who that is right after this. Herman Miller, the official chair of the Apex Legends Global Series. WD Black, the official storage partner of the Apex Legends Global Series.
Two more games. That's all we have left remaining here in Birmingham to decide whose tournament will continue tomorrow and who will have to watch from the stands. We're here live at the ALGS Global Series Championships. Gaskin and Onset here on the microphones, and I tell you what, Dan, this is what it all comes down to, right? This is where you're really tested as a team.
The crowd is getting loud and proud. MDY White fans are the ones who are dominating the crowd today, but it was Dreamfire yesterday who are really bringing the noise. Imagine both of them together tomorrow, but MDY White have to get there first. It's elimination round 1. We can only say 10 more teams into elimination round 2. It's match number 7 here, folks. It's do or die time for teams like Jay Lings that they were talking about on the desk. They're only on 15 points at the moment, down at the bottom of the leaderboard. They need big games, and they need them now.
Graceful. Words of encouragement for his former teammates from the desk. Maybe that's what they need, Dan. Maybe just a little bit of belief, just to take, the pressure off their shoulders, right? Just to make sure that they remember this is just a game of Apex Legends. Or maybe they need to be reminded there's only 2 left. Whatever side of the fence you're sitting on, whatever works for you, J-Links, you need to find a little bit of inspiration right now. But at the other end of the leaderboard, Dan, there's a lot of teams who are going to be feeling much more comfortable, the likes of Enter Force 36, after their performance in the last game.
Enter Force 36, they should be locked into that elimination round 2. Northeption still should have done enough to get there as well. But it seems like MDY White, E6, they are very close to securing their spot in elimination round 2. But those on the bubble, Disguised, Pulverex, Area 310, Gambari Artisan, Aurora as a 2, and Riddle Order. They're teams to keep an eye on to try and get into those top 10 spots. But still 2 matches remain, so it doesn't have to happen here, but you want to put yourself in a position to get close.
I will say there's a little bit of a point discrepancy starting to appear as well. And it kind of starts around E6. We just saw them doing a little bit of work over at Trials on their loot path, but they're on 42 points at the moment. Behind them is going to be Disguised, 28. But after that, Dan, it is so close. And if you missed the last game, well, good news, we're going back to Landslide again.
And I was going to say leading into this one, J-Lings, they've had 2 tough circles, having to go all the way from Overlook. Perhaps it's going to be a little bit better. Yeah, no, it's not going to be. They have to get through 100 Thieves, MDY White, likes of Aurora, and once they reach, if they reach Landslide, they're going to be beaten to the pulp. Everyone's going to already be there just as they had prior. Now, Pioneers have Ring Console again, so if they use it, they will be heading to the same direction. They've got the Newcastle to get it done. They'll probably set up in a similar place. But my question is, do Le Site de France do the same thing? Because Le Site de France, remember, dropped over towards Landslide, and they went up towards Countdown, and were punished. But it is going to be a pretty similar game, a lot of similar rotations, but teams looking at this circle should have a good idea of where they want to set up.
Well, MDY White on your screens right now, and you mentioned Le Site de France and Pioneers. Well, they're having a little scrap in that vault tunnel right now. As we see Le Site de France this time looking a little bit more confident in those armors, Dan. It was all whites last time, with there's 2 blues and a purple this time. And they're going to have to hold off the push coming in from Pioneers.
Yeah, this is a better position to hold than just retreating up towards Countdown. And Le Site de France were that team in 10th position as we started World's Edge, but they've slowly dripped down to 15th place now, 21 points. So the magic number, we think, or around about with the averages, is about 42 points. So still a way to go at the moment.
And isn't it crazy how Pioneers, just because they were slowed down on their rotation, what Le Site de France did, well, it means Onyx Esports are up on the high ground this time. That's how things can work. Those few seconds, can completely change how you have to approach this game. Onyx control the height, all dressed in blue at the moment.
What we got going on?
And should be settled for that long game.
And Pioneers, now when they arrive, they'll see Onyx is there, and they might have to take a different position. And Pioneers may have to take a fight earlier on that southern side next to the vault. But FC Destroy are going to lock down this little truck nice and early. We're going to have a little rampart action in this game.
Let me tell you, hit a charge rifle shot. We're going to see some heads rolling. Also a very good way to get
I see, they done pulled out Shishi.
Especially if you are on white armors at the moment, but you know what? I just feel confident I'll drop it off to someone else to do the damage for me. The 100 Thieves, who really struggled on their rotate last time. We saw them involved in numerous scuffles and went out pretty early. Well, at the moment, Dan, they're down in 20th position.
And
for
Thieves
100
better
Thieves, I mean,
step
the
it the
story
fuck
going to
up.
Split 2 playoffs was, can they get to the final? They just missed out last time. They did that, but this time it might be about getting to Saturday.
Which is unbelievable when you look at the caliber of players on 100 Thieves. Unfortunately, that rampart barricade is going to be blocking your own teammate, but Sheila arrives to the party, but nothing is said. But the car hits harder than Sheila does.
Yeah, talking about what's in your pack. Well, what's in your back? It's bullets coming in from that car. As FC Destroy hold for now. They did lose Pinator though, so now they're going to have to try and hold this one out. And look at this, there's 2 teams swarming. Onyx Esports want a piece of this. They smell some free KP. Yuka Paradator is left on his own, but he does have the company of Sheila.
Ooh, they better not push that motherfucker with
Great
Shishi.
company to have. This is not really an area you want to push, but you need to do it quickly.
Hey, he better not push up in that motherfucker with that Shishi.
And now Sheila
Oh,
gets
they got him now.
overwhelmed. Rampart will fall, and FC Destroy are our 19th team. So go
They got
next, FC Destroy, our first 2 out. As all those Western squads have made their journey over towards landslide.
Shishi
The
was
Eastern
short-lived.
teams, however, are taking a little bit longer as expected. Where are J-Lings? Gonna have a look. So J-Lings have actually been able to get past Monument this time. This has been a better rotation for them.
Elsewhere, speaking of
Hey,
Monument,
they said we gotta get Sheila the fuck up out of here.
Well, this is going to be North Epsion.
Hey, we gotta jump this hoe. Hello, we gotta get this bitch up out of here.
But Aurora with the comp they're playing at the moment, pretty sure they're playing Crypto Valkyrie, if I wasn't mistaken. Which means that they're able to just use that drone to stay away from fights for as long as possible. They can. Zane gets the knock though. And that's going to be one player falling to the floor. So Pioneers will pick up 1 KP, a little cheeky smile on the face of Nasky. You know he's feeling good when you see that.
Yeah, the Pioneers recognized that they weren't going to be able to comfortably push through the vault, so they will back off and make sure that it's not going to happen. You want to go over towards Harvester. If you see another team you can potentially get that pick off of, then yeah, sure. You'll take the extra KP because Pioneers are, at the moment, in a brilliant spot. And they should be safe for the elimination round 2. But if you want to really secure yourself a W on the board to make it 2 for this series, then they'll be very happy. As for Disguise, 28 points in the moment. They currently hold 10th position. They are the benchmark.
Traffic control is going to be allied to the presence of Disguised as they use the Skyward Dive. And I'll tell you what, maybe they want a little bit of a scrap here, or they're going to swing away at the last second from Fnatic. Probably a fight you don't want to take.
Yeah, Fnatic have really shown what they're made of in this lobby, haven't they? And it's, I think, what we expected to see early on in this tournament. They were slow burners, but I think a confident performance in Elim round 1 might make them have that belief again that they can take those fights. They don't have to retreat out of some of the engagements they were on day 1 and 2. But with a 68 points total, this has been very impressive.
Yeah, Fnatic, I think, just looking a bit more comfortable on the composition as well, allowing them to participate in those fights a little bit more equally. Disguised, who we did see a few moments ago, have completely retreated, but I tell you what, Fnatic aren't. Fnatic are stepping up on them right now, and Disguised have got to be so careful. Remember, this is the penultimate game. There's only 1 game after this, and Disguised are in 10th position, the final qualification spot to come back tomorrow.
And it's not really where you want to be in going into that last game. You don't want to be on the bubble. You want to be set. You want to be secure.
In the bubble.
You want to be out. You want to be above the bubble. You want to be blowing, but never mind.
I don't understand what the bubble is. Anyway, Fnatic still looking to put the pressure.
Baby, they got a sticky note. Nicole said it was because of Disguise Toast.
Moments ago, and I'd be very hesitant.
Oh,
even if they
Toast,
did have
or
some
whatever
themselves
his
to try and
name
pop it
is,
to get out of that situation as well. The aim
is why they got the logo
Fnatic
like
have
that.
with those guns in their hands. Elsewhere on the map, we're heading now to the northern side of the zone, and Riddle Order, who are in 14.
It was zero
just a
thought
couple
put
of
into that
points.
logo.
I think they're
They
6
said put it on
points
a sticky
behind.
note.
Disguised at the
They said put it on a sticky note and we'll get back around to it, and they never got back around to it.
But they are going to be separated by a mountain once this ring comes in. But it's not much of the red you have to go through if you want to try and go for a little surprise attack. We have seen a few of them so far this tournament, with teams not necessarily watching their backs and expecting the ring to protect them, but it doesn't always favor you when you do that. So we've got 4 teams at the moment who are in the next circle, but we have around 12 teams in this circle, so still a few more that have to make their journeys. Fnatic, Disguised, Pioneers, 100 Thieves, Interforce 36, and Pulverix still have to try and make their way in. And speaking of Pulverix, you saw them on your screen there, but it's E6 who have lost 1.
E6 lost 1. But Slayers and Tyler, the main fraggers for the team, still alive and kicking. 42 points here for Element 6. They are kind of the ones who are a little bit further out, a bit further ahead of that chasing pack, and should be pretty safe if they can put a few points on the board in these last 2 games. Gambare Ultrasan, though, they're holding down this little box inside of Countdown for now. Gen goes down as well, they should be safe, and they'll also be safe. As you can see, they have ring console information for the next zone 2.
And Complexity just landed underneath them, but they're not going to be a major threat at the moment. What I'd be worried if I was Gambare Artisan is Riddle Order, if they want to take a peek at it, because with all that commotion going down and with all the gunfire that was happening, Riddle Order did actually, I saw on the map, have a little look around, but it looks like they didn't want to take it. As for Complexity, there's no reason for them to try and send this on the team above them, and to be honest, they don't really have the tools to do so unless they wasted Valkyrie's ultimate. So it's just a matter of survival for both of these squads, and it is Complexity at least holding the zone more so than Geo.
Ulverex, the team closest, but probably if it was to finish right now, be the first most disappointed team. 11th place for them, 28 points is what they have right now, but they have worked their way into landslide here, Dan, and this is a truck that might be very valuable towards the end game.
Yeah, it really could be, especially if we see a direct replication of what happened in the previous, although I feel like we might be heading a little bit further north than we did.
Just got me some Chick-fil-A. Finna be gone in 3 minutes. Baby, you love you some Chick-fil-A, don't you? I still ain't one got that sandwich.
It's Lasita France who picked it early.
Oh my.
And they're going.
Because I want to wait till I get my hair done so I can do a review on it. Because
I
ain't gonna say get my hair done, but when I finish taking it out and comb my goddamn hair and wash it.
Thieves have to be so careful. Lasita France.
I swear they put decaf in my shit because why am I about to be?
They do not want to show here down. One reload,
hey, you might
one
need a
shield
little
cell
nap,
gets
man.
popped, and their plan is ruined.
And again, this wouldn't happen in a SIA meta. You wouldn't be able to get away with it. Your heartbeats would be scanned. Sure, a Bloodhound can give you a scan information, but you are alerted to it.
There's no scan character here for 100 Thieves. Hold your breath, everyone. Here's the ambush. Can 100 Thieves survive? They get away from it. But here comes the push now from Lasita France.
Lasita France get the scan as well. As you can see, the knock comes through onto Vaxlon. And now it's a 3 versus 2, making it 2 versus 1. And it should be an easy clean. The ambush was executed perfectly.
100 Thieves is doing horrible today.
For their patience, but is there a third party? I can see in the horizon.
Hey, that's how it was for me the other day, man. When I, what was that, Monday? No, Tuesday. Whatever the first day of ALGS. I was like, I'm going to go take me a nap. Baby, I laid down. I woke up, it was 9 o'clock. I said, oh, yeah, ain't no night stream tonight, baby. It's over with.
There's the Sky
it's over with for the night stream tonight.
Goes to work. Oh, wow, that's a big nade, though. Dark Veil goes down to give you the coverage, as now they can use the scan from the Bloodhound to give you that extra info through that Dark Veil, but I don't think they were able to get that initial knock quick enough, so Lasita France are able to scamper away and will be able to reset in this vault tunnel.
Ooh, that could have been, someone may say karma, some may say a little taste of your own medicine for Lasita France, but for 100 Thieves, the worst possible result. Let's be real. I mean, when you're looking at the standings overall, 100 Thieves were bottom of the table.
Yeah, these are only games today, yeah.
And they go out inside that top 3. It's heartbreaking for them.
And the worrying thing is, you know, when we talk about what that placement point situation must have to be to get you into that top 10, they're going to need a victory plus a lot of kills if they're going to survive in match 8 and get into Olympic round 2. Now, in a Force 36 are entering with force.
Oh, the shot's coming in for the R9. It's going to be Lasita France who seem to be losing this fight. The hit point from the scout is pretty darn clean, and so is the fight. Lasita France lose their vault tunnel. They will be eliminated, but one still alive, I believe. The Sky's now on the edge of zone. Xenox, Lou with it all to do. Lou getting burnt by the ring. Can he survive? No, they can't. The Sky's eliminated. Fnatic eliminated as well. 15 squads remain.
You were right. One did escape from
shootout
the
and then
France,
the ring
but it's not going to go well, and probably will fall soon as suddenly everything's blown into action here on World's Edge. It's MDY White who hold the high ground. Gibby Bubble goes down, and we'll see the Gibby Bombardment also start to fall and rain down on those that are below them.
Pioneer's been a nuisance, by the way, in this game. Bayou's gone down as well. Aurora eliminated in the meantime while this fight plays safe. Mingyu left on into own. Can he connect for one? That's yes. But is he going to be able to turn it into more? Looks for that shield swap. Not going to get it. Pioneers live. Newcastle will drag his friend back into cover and say, back on your feet, Soldier, we got more work to do.
Yeah, Pioneers now on 54 points. Elimination round 2, all but guaranteed for them.
And the
what I
size got
expect
11,
from
they
the
didn't make
Pioneers.
it.
You don't really want
Tomorrow
to
is
be seeing
6.
anyone
Oh,
down
yeah.
in round 1, but Pioneers, for some reason, seem to find themselves there tournament after tournament. But then they'll still get into that finals lobby, I'm sure of it. They're just one of these squads you expect to make that elimination run. Now, circle-wise, it's going to be a little bit more
for day,
than we saw the
for
finish
tomorrow.
earlier. It isn't going to be directly on landslide like it was prior. Instead, it's going to be on the mountainside where currently Onyx Esports hold.
One of the most iconic plays I can remember in Apex history was made on this zone. It was the Hardeki solo play to win a game for his squad. We're going to have to see if we see something equally as special from one of these teams. Gambane Otasan under a lot of pressure here in his complexity, who seem to be getting the better of them. However, there's the shield swap coming in from Yuzna. Oh my god, Luda's gone down as well. He's a one-man army, surely. Not the 1v3 in this situation. It isn't going to happen. Monsoon clutches up.
Damn.
But he's going to have to play this one out himself. 2 teammates were finished in that fight. Oh no, one's back up, excuse me.
Still there, yeah, there was only one that went down, so that's good. At least still a chance then for complexity, but the ring's starting to come in. Pioneers also just a 2. Nasky has fallen. This is a good position to be holding right now. It's not going to win you the game from here, because you will have to move into the next circle. You can see Pioneers, they're not alone. There is Northeption
Man, the
right
EU
next.
time is crazy. Well, it's like 10 o'clock in the morning for them, I think.
Latita France gone. Kick
Damn,
eliminated
Kick got
as
eliminated.
well. But what a moment this is for the team on the bottom of your screen. J-Lings,
nasty
we
watching
talked
Jen
about
down
how
there.
this is a rough rotate for them. They've had to travel all the way across the map from their drop spot. Well, they're involved in this end zone. They're in the top 9, but can you make it count, boys?
I really thought you were going to say they've traveled all the way across the world. And I was going to be like, most of them are from England at this point, but E6 are the ones who hold on top of the drill. And J-Lings maybe get sent on because of that black hole, but they're holding strong. This is such a horrible angle, by the way, when you're trying to play this rock. You're just terrified at all times someone is going to arrive very shortly above you.
I mean, J-Lings just have to worry about E6. If they can clear this side of the zone, then maybe they will have a walk-in just as this game starts to pick up. It's E6 who are on the high ground on the drill tower, though. Noises has to be careful. Has to make sure that they don't give away a free knock, because that is the invitation for someone to take that spot off of them. Pioneer's still alive, by the way. Northeption still alive. And Onyx Esports, who have come to life and are leaving it late here, not only are alive as a 3, Dan, but they got 8 bullets that could change this game as complexity will fall.
Red Lord are the next team that are under pressure. A few teams were taking pop shots up towards J-Lings and E6 on that northern side. Northeption as well, doing their job to stay and survive, while Pioneers are just holding the position below them. But if Red Lord can just force some of these team backs and play the rock on the western side, they'll actually be in a really good spot, because they'll have more cover than any other team in the lobby.
There's Ender Force 36 once again, who are creeping up on this zone as well. They're forcing Onyx Esports away, but Onyx are holding them out of zone. J-Lings play under this tower. E6 above them for now. A lot of responsibility here on Nax as well, on that controller. Try and force players away, try and do entry damage, break some shields, but most importantly, do not get knocked.
J-Lings need to give themselves a chance here. They have to get a good 10 points from this match, going into match number 8. Confrontation though on the other side of the map. It's Onyx Esports, Enter Force 36. And it's a difficult one to try and navigate, but now, here comes J-Lings.
This is massive, this is E6 in front of them. If they can eliminate them, then they have a chance. They now control this northern side of the zone. But all of a sudden, Red Lord see this fight break out. They're pressurizing them. They're pinning them in this corner. And oh no, J-Lings, this could be a nightmare for you.
And this is what I was saying about Red Lord on this western side. You've got the extra coverage, you've got the extra elevation as E36 go down, and J-Lings might be next.
Red Lord are sending it in the meantime onto J-Lings. They will be eliminated, but J-Lings force their way into the top 5 at least. Onyx Esports still alive, and I'm pretty sure they still have some shots in that Kraber.
And Onyx Esports starting to close that gap to the top 10. They're in 12th position at the moment. Pioneers still alive as a solo rat. So it's going to be Onyx Esports versus Riddle Order, with maybe a little influence from Sir Dell himself.
Yo, appreciate that follow, Queen.
If Del can win this game from this position as a solo, then he fully deserves the title of Sir.
Well, you mentioned
Well,
the
tomorrow
historic
starts
plays, the
with
solo wins that we saw
winner
in this final
elimination.
circle. It's happened before with Hideki.
Then after
Wouldn't put it
that,
out of the realms of
it's the
possibility.
losers
There's
bracket
an
at
opportunity
2,
here because
around
these
2
two teams, they're
at
gonna
11
have a
a.m.
bit of
Oh, okay,
strife,
okay.
and that might just open
Yeah, I'll
the
probably
door
catch that
depending
part
on
of
how
it because
long
I
this
know I'm
fight
not going to be
takes
up at no 6 a.m. on
finish.
no Saturday.
Bracket
Hell
moving
no,
in
that's
here.
my
Good damage
sleeping
coming
in
through.
that day.
Crusader gets the first knock. Yukio will fall. But where is Del in all of this? Where are the Pioneers? There he is.
Del gets involved. He sees where the knock's happening. He wants to get that extra little bit of damage. I tell you what, maybe there's still a chance.
Del,
Oh, that
he's
took a
gonna
little
step
longer
up.
than usual.
He sends the shield
J3.
forward, but can he get into a position to close this out as the solo? I don't think he can.
Okay,
but
Onyx
for Onyx,
Esports got
what
them
a
a
moment
dub.
this is. A huge win in the penultimate game in the elimination bracket. They move up into 9th place overall, and if it stays as it is, they will qualify for tomorrow.
They give themselves that chance to get into elimination round 2. It is not done yet, though. They would still be on that bubble. They would still be vulnerable. But at least now, it doesn't have to be a must-win game going into match number 8. Instead, they can take it calmly. They can maybe take less risks. Just try and survive to those later stages to pick up those placement points. But that could be massive for Onyx, sending them potentially into tomorrow's action.
You thought for a second there, Del had the chance to do it.
He did. He was given that
You're right,
opportunity.
actually. He did have the chance to do it.
It was a 2 versus 1, and with the Newcastle Shield, who can act sometimes as an extra player, but it was well played by Onyx. Onyx denied it with the way they just surrounded him there, denying any sort of opportunity.
Here's the stats from your first and second place teams. Onyx Esports with the win, 12 placement points, understandably so, 6 kills to go alongside it as well. But look at Pioneers, 8 kills they managed to put together in that game. And Del, Sir Del, I should say, almost pulling off one of the plays of the tournament to win it as that solo.
As the disguised fans celebrate as well, everyone getting involved here. The crowd lapping this action up. Remember, you can join us as well. Tickets still available this weekend for the ALGS Championships. But how could you down a Watson?
E6 fans still believe as well, and why wouldn't they? They might have just done enough now to be back in that crowd tomorrow supporting their team. But this is the final circle, Dan. Onyx Esports, I thought for a second, maybe they didn't have the info that Del was a solo, and decided to try and send it, thinking if we clean this fight up quickly, then maybe we can reset. But Onyx Esports, I talked about that Kraber. It's interesting to see if any shots were actually hit, or if it was the R9 that did the majority of the work.
And it's these kind of fights where composition really can make the difference. Having the Horizon on board, allowing you to play with a little bit of elevation. When I mentioned Riddle Order had that even just small amount of high ground to work with and with cover to work with, it's not a worry for Onyx, because as they push up the left-hand side, if they want to elevate themselves above, they can do so. And then having the Kraber, you know, it just gives you that extra bit of confidence. It almost feels like an extra player. The Dark Veil goes down to protect them from the other side, but look at the melt. Look at the prioritization from Onyx as they all focus the same legend first to get that initial knock.
And that's communication,
It
right?
is.
It's always communication that we talk about, and how important it is in the pressure moments of games to make sure that you are listening to your leader, that the call is made and you follow it. Focusing on that player, so important. But even at that moment, I feel like Rashady getting that shield swap maybe wasn't the opportunity that maybe Del could have seen as the W.
They both got a shield swap, which just meant it was going to be very
Yeah, it
difficult
works
for
out,
Del,
yeah.
as it's 18 points put on the board for Onyx, 17 for the Pioneers. And it should be enough for Pioneers.
Darcy
Onyx,
came at
they are there or thereabouts on the horizon of elimination round 2 as well, but perhaps a few more points needed. J-Lings, though, they give themselves 8 on set. That sends them up to 17 onto 23 points. So I hate to say
I said,
it,
what time you
it's
gotta go to
gonna
work?
have to be a win for
You said you
J-Lings
had
in
to
this
work
next
today?
game, otherwise they're going home.
The bottom of our match 7 results in front of you as well. Disguise, no
4, oh,
points
okay.
for them. They will have work
Oh, you
to
got a
do
little time to
as
you.
well. 100 Thieves though, Dan, I think the story for me is this might be the end of the tournament. It would have to
Damn,
be a
Kick
win
did
and
better
a
than
big win for
fucking
them to go through. as now we can show you the series results.
Damn,
So 100 Thieves on 10.
Below kick?
They need to get to what, around 40?
That's
At the moment, the cutoff
tragic.
is 33. So let's say no one scored points above them. It would have to be a victory plus 11 kills to even reach 33. I mean, this is where 100 Thieves are probably out at this point. It would have
That
to be
is
kind of
crazy.
record-breaking
The duo is
situation
doing
for them to
better
find themselves into
than
the elimination
100
round 2.
Thieves.
For J-Ling, still doable. For everyone other than 100 Thieves, it's kind of still doable, but unfortunately for the 100T boys, it's looking like this might be the end of the road.
Well, the fans of the teams and the players themselves who are definitely going to have a good night's sleep tonight. Fnatic Pioneers, Enter Force 36, Complexity, North Eption, FC Destroy, E6 you would probably say are safe as well, as long as they don't drop the ball in this next game.
Pretty confident Fnatic, Pioneers, and everyone in the
I
top
don't know
7.
that. They just been
If
getting
not
their
the top
ass
8,
kicked
including
today.
MUI should be good. I think there's only
I don't know if they
really
didn't
2
sleep
spots
well
now
last night
that
or
we're going to
what?
be fighting for, and the 2 teams that hold those, Onyx Esports and Riddle Order. They are the aim, they are the target. The likes of Pulverix, Area 310, Disguise, GO, Aurora, they all still have a little bit to do, but it doesn't have to be that drastic win, you know?
Well, the question is, can anybody show the ice like Onyx just did in that penultimate game? One more game to go here in Birmingham to find out who is going to be going to the elimination bracket and back here tomorrow. We'll be back to find out who that'll be right after this.
What's going on with 100 Thieves?
Monster Energy, the official energy drink of the Apex Legends Global Series.
We're back. Birmingham, once again the stage for the ALGS Global Series Championships. And you have joined us at just the right time. If you've been watching all day, you made the right decision. If you're joining us right now, it's not a bad one either, because we have one more game left to decide who is going to be progressing in this tournament, making it through to tomorrow, or who will be going home.
I don't like this part of the job. I don't like having to send people home. I know I'm not personally doing it, but I'm just involved in it. It feels a little bit dirty, but it has to happen. And at the moment, I mean, I think there's probably one team that's definitely going home unless they break records with the amount of points they score. That would be 100 Thieves. Everyone else is still within a chance to find themselves in the elimination round 2. We have birthday chants going on, by the way, so happy birthday to whoever it is in the audience. There might be several of you with how these things work.
I will say the E6 fans have not stopped. They have been jogging, jumping, making noise the entire time. And why wouldn't you? Because you can see on that scoreboard on your screen right now, alongside Dan Gaskin's huge bicep, which is just poking out next to it, that they're in a pretty strong position and looking pretty good as well. Led, of course, by the man in the center of that team, K-Swinny, leading the troops and looking pretty good at the moment.
Yeah, E6 should have done enough to be in elimination round 2. As more teams get eliminated throughout this game, it will become more dead certain of which teams we can definitely send through to the next round. But it's Onyx Esports, it's Riddle Order. They're the 2 teams that hold the most vulnerable positions right now.
Nervy moments for a lot of teams. Maybe some relaxed ones as well for the teams who have done the work. Onyx Esports, one of those teams certainly who will be feeling a lot more relaxed after that last game coming into what is our final game of the day here in Birmingham. The question still remains, who's going to be here tomorrow? Who's going to be watching from the stands? Well, we're going to know our answer as soon as we see that final champions banner of the day.
Well, the teams who need the biggest game, perhaps in their career, the likes of Go Next, Kick, J-Lings, Le Site de France are all down in the bottom half of this leaderboards, and if they are going to find themselves in any sort of position of elimination round 2, it has to be the biggest game. Speaking of the biggest ever game, 100 Thieves would have to break records if they are going to find themselves in elimination round 2. But if anyone's going to do it, you know they are capable of it with how they've played historically.
What's going on here then? Fnatic changing their drop spot and challenging Le Site de France. Wow. They have left survey camp wide open. And they are saying, Le Site de France, we want a piece of you.
And usually when this happens, it's because there is a contest on other maps when they were in other groups, and maybe they feel that as they move forward, Le Site de France could be a threat to one of their drop spots. So This is a power play from Fnatic, but this is what happens in Battle Royales. It's no real rules, it's usually drops are just gentlemen's agreements. I'll have to see whether the fight's taken, but it looks like L'Équipe de France are more than happy to avoid it right now.
Most of the action taking place involving the drone going past at the moment, as Yuka does manage to get, finally, that thing dropping on gold. L'Équipe de France not doing a lot.
Well, remember, if L'Équipe de France lose this fight, they're out of the tournament. Whereas Fnatic, they have nothing to lose. They're in first, they're guaranteed to be in the elimination round 2. And at the moment, it's a game of hide and seek.
Fnatic look like they've given this one up for now. L'Équipe de France. Maybe not quite giving it up. My voice is not as good as Monsoon's, but you can forgive me for sounding a little bit nervous there. A little bit of vibrato came through. Save our teammate. I think that's the call.
I mean, yeah, 2 of them are good.
Uh-oh.
I think they've just about got away with this one, have L'Équipe de France, so they can play the game of Apex Legends. Right, Circle, we get a chance to talk about it. We're going a little bit more further north now, between Skyhook and Survey Camp and the train tracks that are in between them. That's where the Circle's going to be finishing, roughly.
There is still that one player from L'Équipe de France in that tunnel, by the way. Extremely nervy moments, but talking about the Circle, Dan, I think it's very appropriate to do so, because one team who for once actually has pretty good prior to it
they say about a
is
week
100
or less
Thieves.
for
And we
the
mentioned how this is going to be a very tough,
crossplay to be back on
extremely
Texas
tough
Chainsaw.
road for them. Well, they've changed the
Need to hurry
composition as well. They want to get aggro, Revenant reworked, and maybe revitalizing 100 Thieves. A massive moment for them as they take this fight. Scurry looking through the window, peeking through the window. It's going to have to back up here because Vaxon and Onmu have already taken damage.
Damn, they pulled red
Every
out.
bullet that is taken by 100 Thieves
They
is
on
going to
some
hurt.
shit now.
Let's see what the comms are like. Let's see how they sound.
They've been playing with red.
I'm above, I'm above.
I'm with you.
Outside on me. Scanning.
I'm weak.
Oh,
I'm
shit.
I got fucking 100 pump.
One PK shots, one PK in.
The first bit was
Thieves out
brilliant. The
again.
second bit just not good enough. And I think just not good enough is summing up the
That would have
performance
been
from 100
nice if
Thieves
he
so
would have
far.
got it off, like climbing that wall and jump, hit him with the
Just
PK,
left
but
to
yeah.
retreat, tail between legs.
And they chasing him down,
100
baby. They
Thieves
finna be the
is
first
hopes
ones
to be in this
dead.
tournament.
100 Thieves.
Quickly passing his
They
element
out of there,
6
first ones.
will be involved in engagement, but you can see in the kill feed 100 Thieves eliminated, and not just from this game, but from the entire ALGS championships.
Tyler trying to chase down, this damage being done. E6 on the prowl, doesn't get the knock. No, he doesn't get the knock. And now it's all up to the IGL, the captain K20 flying in, but can't quite connect yet. Gets one.
Damn, he got him before he
And
locked
this
that
ain't over yet.
motherfucking
What a
door.
spray that is. The hip fire's pretty good. Oh my God, Swinny almost turns it around. But that will be the end of the day for E6. But good news for them is they'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah, E6 with the points they've been gathered, they should be absolutely fine.
I was going to say,
Heavy on
probably.
playing like kids.
But they look good with the amounts that they have been able to get. They're above that 42 points threshold that I was talking about. But it is just a rough estimation. Now, MDY White on around 43 points. They should also be okay. And the fans now getting very excited to see MD White back on the screens with a chance to take a fight here.
I guess some things said, fuck it, we done
At the
lost.
moment, they're inside a very good position for the end game.
Around.
Outside of the building, you can see a couple of teams starting to stack up as well. It's going to be FC Destroy who are having a little poke and a prod. Smiles on the faces of Yuka Paradator, which means they're feeling pretty comfortable in their position as well. You wouldn't be smiling if you're outside the top 10 right now, let me tell you that.
It's a horrible position to be in for a lot of these teams, but even worse for those who have dropped on the southern side and still have a job to do. One of those involving
Crowd is hype. I ain't got my headphones on, so I can't even hear him.
You know?
Echoes through Birmingham, really.
It does, actually.
But I'm really hoping that Disguise
I'll
can
take the goddamn
make it
braids
forward,
up.
because I want to hear more Duke chants as the tournament goes on. But it could end here and now in this game if they do not find points. maybe don't even get to that final circle, at least to the late game. There's a lot of teams who are very close to just getting those points that would send them into the elimination bracket. But for those who are lower down in the leaderboard, we mentioned it has to be a win. And to put yourself in that spot where you know you need a victory can make you make some very difficult decisions at times. And you saw the decision for 100 Thieves. It had to be a change of composition, and it didn't work out for them.
Now, this is a fascinating development on the map at the moment. Disguised to a 13th place at the moment. Well, they're stuck. Well, the J-Lings, I should say, are on the other side of Kick, who are in between the two teams. So if Kick can't escape and all of a sudden a little bit of damage is done on either side, then things get interesting, because we might have a situation where Disguised and J-Lings, who are currently just outside Survey Camp, might meet up, and there isn't enough room for both of them, you would think, in that top 10 as we jump over now to Fnatic.
It's still the party poopers, Fnatic, looking to try and ruin the tournament of Lassie de France. How long has this hunt been going on? As Aimbot is now the last remaining player. And unfortunately, Lassie de France, head in hands, as that's the tournament done.
They're over here fighting in the
ALGS
storm.
Championships finished as Lassie de France are eliminated.
And here come Pioneers as well. They're putting some pressure on. Let's go next. Who are in 19th. They might be the next team, unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to if they do not come out of this alive and kicking. Pioneers, who are doing so much damage to a lot of teams, I would say, in the lobby at the moment, especially in that last game. They took out so many people
Hemlock
who
9-9.
needed those big games.
So that's how they've been running. 9-9 Hemlock or 9-9 30.
Go Next should have a comfortable position
Maybe
for now, as long as
acquiring the
Pioneers don't try and push them. Oh, I said it was going to be comfortable, but they got spotted. I thought maybe Go Next weren't going to be, but it's Pioneers that are near them. J-Lings also are going to have eyes on this one as well. I mean, this is a treacherous journey through Epicenter to try and arrive towards the zone, so the Dark Veil is going to go down to give you that extra bit of cover.
Pioneers decide to retreat from this by the looks of things. Nasky calling off the push.
Well.
And here they are then, J-Lings.
I mean, we've already had one shot. 100 Thieves was definitely not in the script to get eliminated in round one. J-Lings, another team that is expected to get to the further stages in this tournament. I was talking about stats before this series started. World's Edge, they were the best World's Edge team in this lobby, but it has not got going for them. 8 points in the previous game, though.
The big thing here for J-Lings is this is a lot of the first 90% of the game we see from them repeating themselves once again, right? They get into what a lot of people might consider to be a god spot, to be an end zone position. They get set up, but are they able to hold it and convert on a top 5 to a win? If they can, there's a chance. Another team who are hoping everybody below them dies first. It's going to be Riddle Order. Riddle Order at the moment, they hold the last qualification spot. No! Yukio goes down! It's the grenade from the heavens from Natsuki, and now all of a sudden they're in a shambles! Miak trying to do what he can to keep themselves alive.
Ooh,
he gets a 1-6
shit.
with Riddle Order out! And for everybody else in the chasing pack, that could not be better news.
Go Next now getting involved. And Go Next maybe sensing a real opportunity here to pick up some KP and start to have their miraculous comeback and maybe survive and get into that elimination round 2. All those teams seeing in that kill feed that Riddle Order were eliminated now can start to believe. Pulverex, 1 point away from top 10. Area 310, 2 points away from top 10. Disguised, 3 points away from top 10. Riddle Order, it is unlikely.
No, it's tomorrow, Rick. Tomorrow morning they start at 6 a.m. Yeah, I won't be catching that, but they playing two parts really tomorrow, so I'll be able to catch the second half.
It's a pushable position. Sometimes you can get caught out by a Horizon ult being thrown down that way, so you're going to have to play extremely well to hold down this position for an elongated period of time. And Elstar certainly going to help that, but here go Disguised. 13th place at the moment, 30 points up until this point.
I think Ed said the second half started at 11, so I might be able to catch some of that tomorrow. But the first half,
but it was the fight that you were talking about.
Yeah, got heavy on the goddamn. Yeah, the first half, you ain't got to worry about the shop opening up.
Here at Survey Camp, Complexity on top of J-Lings.
This could be the fight, Dan. You heard the Beast of the Hunt has been popped, and I'm pretty sure Complexity want to try and pressurize this building here. J-Lings have to force them away. J-Lings have to do that damage, and that's going to do for them. Noises also gets the knock. Noises has a Kraber.
But J-Lings won't want to push out of this building. They won't want to push the advantage because it's too exposed at the moment.
On Saturdays.
At least Noises can get that information, though. Drone goes out, assess the area, what's going
They
down?
tripping like
Are we
Ellerman.
being threatened by anyone else? And they should know for now they are comfortable, but they cannot take advantage of that knock.
Well, zone information is going to hurt Jailings pretty soon. Even though they have that Kraber, Dan, everybody who thought we are going to survey camp is going to have to move south.
This is a horrible zone, by the way. You know I said it's a treacherous journey in Epicenter? Well, that's where we're going. The western side of Epicenter is Aurora. Their tournament might be coming to an end shortly as well. Opting to play as a 2, and perhaps going home as a 2 as well. 28 points at the moment. They would need something big here. Oh, Rain, what can you do?
Well, he's dancing, but unfortunately, I think it might be a dance down into the dirt. Aurora eliminated not just from the lobby, but from the tournament as well.
Yeah, they probably thinking it ain't a good idea to run
Survey
a
camp,
duo
the
now
place to
in
be
this
at the
big-ass
moment,
tournament.
but every one of these teams will have to leave at the same time once we get to the
Okay, I
further
see
circle.
Complexity over there.
Disguised, a few points away from top 10. It's nervy times for a lot of these squads now. You don't want this to be the last game of Apex Legends that you play on this main stage.
Polveric still in that position under the bridge. Kick inside of the train tunnel.
Hey, Candy.
Disguised
hey,
inside
Cat.
of
Hey,
survey
Roya.
camp. When that zone
How you
closes,
doing?
everyone who's in survey camp might have a
Gonna
little
Roy
bit
coming
of
in
a
in the
shot.
last minute again
It's
because
gonna
this is
be
the
a
last match,
rotation to
Roy. We finna get
decide
off.
if you're back here tomorrow, as Polveric have to hold down this spot.
I mean, what a fight this could be. Polverix in 11th versus Onyx Esports in 9th. Now, Onyx are very close to securing elimination bracket,
Sorry
but if they
to
were
that
to go
man.
down here, there is still a chance they could be surpassed. So that doesn't really surprise me that both teams not particularly eager to take the fight. And these lobbies, they're so difficult to navigate because you have about 5 teams who are all trying to avoid fighting just to get to that late game. As Area 310 done, eliminated,
Roy
they will
be
not
having
be
a perfect
qualifying for
time,
elimination
baby.
round 2. They were close. They were on 30
He said he
points.
getting better, though.
But as they fall, it means their tournament ends.
13 squads remaining.
He
FC
said, yeah, I'm
Destroy
getting better
South
with
in
pulling up to the
train
shop on
station at the
time,
moment.
baby.
It's Enterforce 36 in 3rd place overall, who only have
still
8
gonna work
points
on
to
it.
rely
Roy be
but
on
their work is
KST
done now.
time,
They have
too.
61 points overall. You would imagine they should be safe, but look at this! It's Jailings! It's Jailings out of nowhere who are trying to clean this up, and JFW taking so much damage. Can it survive? No! Jailings down to just 1.
Heavy on the last minute, y'all. What you been up to today? Oh my goddamn throat is
Nax is a
hurting.
solo, has his team's life on his shoulders. Jailings fall, they will be eliminated.
It's the end of the road for Jailings. It was Fnatic on the other side who are playing with so much freedom and flow at the moment.
Damn, my song
They
down.
managed to get the banner. They could potentially get back up to a full 3 with a respawn beacon ahead of
Ooh.
them. And Yuka's got a Kraber as well. I would not want to be in the path of Fnatic at the moment because they don't give a crap where you are. They are going to be happily pushing on you because they're already guaranteed. They are just damaging everything in their wake.
Pioneer's just eliminated as well. Their job is done. They will be with us tomorrow. Onyx Esports looking to solidify their position in the top 10. Raki's already got 1 knock. And Shady's trying to do a little bit more damage. They're dancing around the cat wall at the moment. Onyx control this side of the zone. The black hole will be destroyed. Numichan has gone down from Fnatic. The balloon might be a big play here if you can get past this bombardment that's coming down from the skies. And even though Crusader has fallen, Onyx are holding on the moment. Shady to get that shield battery popped, but MDY White inside of the top 10.
Oh shit, Luda down.
Might be about to win a
Complexity
fight.
in the top 10 though.
MDY White want to
My
solidify
song
it.
back
This guy
up.
is also
Okay.
trying to stay alive to keep their
Cody
possible
down.
journey. Onyx Esports eliminated. Have they done enough? They are one of the bubble teams. Disguised have lost 1. Xenox and Duke trying to work as a 2 here.
Duke needs to go huge.
Oh
Duke's
shit.
just going to go down, and now Xenox falls. Trying to survive, knowing
Complexity
the
out.
placement points might be
Okay.
enough for him. 7 squads now remaining. Xenox is trying to drag his
White
team
out.
into tomorrow's tournament.
It's still doable, even as a solo.
Top 6.
6 teams remain. Xenox has to rat for Disguised
I'm
if they want to
paying
be in
bills all
elimination
day.
round 2
Ooh,
tomorrow.
I know, baby. Who you telling? I'm waiting. I'm still waiting. Every time
There's
I
a
try to look
crypto
at my
in the
camera, I'm
lobby,
like, damn, this shit still ain't came
He is
out,
going to
man.
be scanned.
Hey,
He doesn't want to pop these
I got
cells.
some
He
more shit I
doesn't want
need
to
to
give
pay.
information away. But now comes the push, and
Trying to wait
Xenox.
till
Xenox
stuff
gets
come
help
out
from
that's
above.
been pending.
He's getting help from above here. He might be able to get a shield swap in this position. to hit. Sanox will fall. Disguise are eliminated as we're down to our top 4.
The Disguise will not do enough. That KP could have been everything for them. But it's currently Pulverex who hold that 10th position, being followed by Ganbare Artisan, who still have a chance as well here. As a 2, as the Dark Veil comes
Hey,
up.
you better look for some more bats.
11th place as it stands. Ganbare Artisan. 4 squads remaining. Oh, 109 spray from down low coming in from Dogma. But as a duo, do they have enough? Do they have the nerve, Dan?
4 teams alive, only one of them guaranteed to be in elimination round 2. This is the fight here for Ganbare Artisan against Pulverex. Pulverex holding 10th position at the moment. If Geo take them down, they give themselves the best chances ever. But they're taking so much damage as the ring now gets involved.
Dogma, the last player alive here for Ganbare Artisan. Can they win the fight? It's a 3v1. They will go down as well. As Pulverex might have now done enough. Ganbare out.
Oh no!
Pulverex down as well! Oh my god! Go next! Go next!
Go next have a chance! If Go Next can win this fight, they can send themselves into elimination round 2. But it's FC Destroy
Go Next and Pulverex? Oh shit, is it Pulverex?
Go Next are locked in!
Is that who it is?
Go Next by name. The question is, will it be Go Next tomorrow? Slab Bambino. Missy as well. Win a 3v3. You'll be back on this main stage tomorrow, and they've got them pinned.
Hey, this shit
They've
getting
got an
real.
L-Star
This
to work
last
with as
thing.
well. Utility looking all good, and they've got shield swaps. This is looking good for Go Next. Remember where they were? They were in 19th place.
Bambino has gone down though, and Slab now. Looks for that shield swap. Can he even the numbers though? Bambino falling, but the flank hit from Slab. Can't get that knock, and it's a 2v3. It's a 2v3v1.
Damn! FCD Destroy.
FC Destroy will win it. But Go Next had the opportunity of a lifetime. And quite simply,
Boy, them boys is fighting right there at the end, god damn.
They gave themselves the best chance to Go Next. They were all the way down in the bottom 3 going into that game. But unfortunately, they will fall short. But what that means is Pulverex secure their spot in elimination round 2. Onyx Esports secure their spot in elimination round 2. And then the previous top 8, as we expected, the likes of
They
MDY
look so,
White,
some of them
E6,
so
Northection,
young.
E36, Complexity, Pioneers, FC Destroy, and Fnatic will all be competing tomorrow at the ALGS Championships here in Birmingham.
Hey, but the Asians showed up deep over there in London, didn't they?
it's only the first round of elimination, and we've still got 2 days of action ahead of us. The LGS Championship is not disappointing, but I have to say, it's heartbreaking for the 3 guys that you can see on your screen right now. Go Next,
They look defeated
it
as
quite
hell.
simply was a 3v3 to go through to the rest of the tournament tomorrow to keep your dream alive.
Them Asians showed up to
Wasn't happen
London.
this time around, but I'm sure when they're back on that main stage, they'll put that right.
It's always a tough one when you know that winning that fight would have guaranteed you through. It wasn't a case of any sort of, you know, tiebreaker situation. It would have been them going through on points ahead of Pulverex, as I'm sure that was equally as difficult for Pulverex watching on, just hoping that that engagement was lost. But everyone has fought so hard here in elimination round 1. There are so many teams who are so close to getting there, but unfortunately we have to say goodbye to 10 of them.
We do, but I think it's also, quite rightly, we need to start celebrating who's going to be here tomorrow, Dan. And I've got to say, for all of the carnage, all of the heartbreak that we just saw in that lobby go down, Fnatic, for me, the standouts, just looking dominant, looking like that fighting composition, that fighting team that we know they can be. I've got to say, an incredible day of action here. 8 games that you certainly won't forget. That's going to do it all from us up on the caster booth. Congratulations to the team who made it through to tomorrow. Rain Day, it's time for you to take it away.
Thank you so much, fellas. Congratulations on a fantastic showcase of your talent there on the stage, but also, of course, the players as well. And for some fans that a little disappointed on some regions, and of course, very, very happy with the result. If their team has made it through now to the next stage, Of course, 10 teams going home. Welcome back to our analysis presented by PlayStation Tournaments. My name is Rainday. I'm joined by Spider Tiff, Zephyr, and Graceful on the desk. Guys, this was a big one. I mean, we obviously saw the end of this match that could have led to Go Next actually making it. And that's a tough thing to stomach, Tiff, when you have the opportunity. Not that it could have been, it was there, and now you got to know that one fight could have changed your destiny.
That is a really hard way to put it. One fight could have changed your
They
destiny.
didn't put the scores out there yet.
It's always one fight, and to be that incredibly
Kicked out a long
close
time
to it
ago, though.
and have that slip away, that has got to be hard to
100
stomach.
Thieves
We're
died
sitting up here on
first.
the desk watching that end game.
They was
engagement.
already in
All I
20th
hear is
here.
Graceful just there in the mix of it. He's like, come on, Slab, just come on, just pull it together. And honestly, Graceful, I can't wait to hear your breakdown of that.
I think, yeah, Graceful, it's time to talk about what worked, because we heard you here on the desk when we weren't live talking about what happened, don't peek this. It ended up not going well. Walk us through that final circle, which ended up going the way of FC Destroy, and what maybe FC Destroy did well to create that mistake from Go Next.
So FC Destroy's comp in general, as you can see, is Newcastle, Ramp, and Bang. They are a super tank team. They take space wherever they want to. They wait for the cooldowns, waiting for from the queue of the Newcastle to take space essentially, and just bit by bit taking space. They get to play however they want. If they get to triple swing of a Newcastle queue or a ramp wall, they just pretty much win immediately. That's just how strong it is. But the main thing that we can take away from this as well is that Go Next split in this fight. So they walled.
Oh, did he hit one of them with that Kraber?
Which is this is
see,
the
we
whole
only
thing
seen
about
the other
synergy and
POV.
timing. I don't know how their comps was during this fight, but this flank actually messed up the timing, and they got a pick off. I think it was
Yep,
Bambino,
that's what it
yeah,
was
and
right
they got a
there
pick off
behind
Bambino
that
doing the
shield.
exact same flanking route right here on the screen. And now they just have all the
Yeah,
space
we
in the
didn't see
world,
this
and they just
POV.
pinch them essentially. So it's really, really important when you're playing together as a team that you are all on the same page. You need to be coming and
140.
not flanking.
Yeah,
If
he was
if
banking that Kraber.
If they're even looking at you,
Oh,
you need to
yeah.
scream and I'll come back.
Yeah,
But
he was banking that
Kraber
Kraber,
is
yeah,
a
because we
power
didn't see
weapon,
that
and
POV.
right
We
there
only
goes to
seen
show
Go
how
Next
strong it is.
POV.
One peek, one shot in the head, and it's over.
FC Destroy
that's
take the
good right
final
there.
game there,
Oh,
and
Kit
Go
came
Next
in
right
sixth
behind
place
them. It
that
will not
match.
be enough. We already were told that by Dan and Mark as they finished their cast. Ganbare Otosan had a lot in disguise. They were all fighting from a pretty similar
He's doing better
position.
than they did
Unfortunately,
yesterday.
when
I
you
can
look
say
at
that
these
much.
bottom 10, not the game you
They're doing
want
way
in
better
Game
than
6.
they did
This is where you
yesterday.
absolutely
100
needed
Look
to
at 'em.
perform. Some of these teams, though, having the privilege of already being secured.
Look at 'em.
Some teams like
How you
100
letting a
Thieves, that
duo
would be the
outbeat
end, coming in 20th, coming in last place here as we take a look at our overall series results. Your top 10 on the left side will be going
Texas still in
to
fourth overall.
tomorrow. Our
Okay.
elimination bracket round 2. They, of course, will await the
Fnatic,
bottom
damn,
10
Fnatic
of
came
our
with
winners finals,
guns,
which will also
baby.
be playing tomorrow in order to see which
But
10
they
will
won
make it
2
to
games.
Championship Sunday. But from 11 to 20's effort, we must say goodbye. That is the end of their tournament run. That is the end of their championship. That's the end of their year.
So many of these teams, especially for the EMEA region, going to be saying farewell here in the bottom 10 as a whole. And some surprises too, especially out of entities like Riddle. We got to see a lot of them, and especially how they were fighting during that group stage. And what we discussed earlier on the day did come true here. They weren't able to truly find their setup in some of these later games, and as a result, fell short.
Somebody getting fired.
From APAC, though, when you look at that top 10, you
Yeah,
see
I
at
don't know
least
what,
7, I believe, from
Thieves
APAC
went
as
over
well. A
there,
couple of
but
EMEA,
they was
and
not
2,
here.
and 1 North America in Complexity, who had a great day.
They was
But
not
Pulverex,
planning to win it today,
wow,
baby. I
you
don't
see
know
the
what the
fans
fuck
there,
they had
they're
going on.
excited. It was just a little bit ago that Pulverex had to do this at championships a year ago and do it with only 2 players. That was Aurora's task this time around. They couldn't do it. Pulverex now with 3 has made it into the next round. I'm so excited to see what they do, and I'm sure APAC North is excited
Yeah, I
as
got
well.
like about 10
but
more
as we
fights.
take a look to
Yeah.
what happens in the days to come, we have to always honor what has happened earlier in the afternoon, and that's where we hit at the end of our show, our Monster Energy MVPs. All right, let's kick it off with our analysts who have all selected a player throughout this 8-game series to highlight. Tiff, I'll start with you. Who's your Monster Energy MVP?
All right, for me, the Monster Energy MVP is going to be none other than
I'm
Monsoon
glad
from
ALGS was this
Complexity,
week,
as
so
if
that
his
way I can
curated music
take
video
my hair
and the
down
song that he sang. Dude,
and
I
be
couldn't even
live.
believe it.
Okay,
I didn't know
MVP
Monsoon could
nomination,
sing.
my
So just
song.
alone from that, I guess that was the hype and momentum that he needed, or maybe it was Kimchi behind him providing him with some extra motivation to just really power through.
Baby, the way they be reloading, why it seems like they reload faster than ours?
Remained consistent consistent. Now, I don't know if it was because they were uncontested as they were through the group series, being able to claim Cenote Cave from Aurora, who elected to land somewhere else as a duo, really led Complexity to have a quite unique series, because had they been contested, they might not have been with the same result. Regardless, Monsoon boasting 14 eliminations, 14 assists, and a boon of damage to hold. They will be advancing on to the next day.
Sometimes, right, sometimes it's fast and sometimes it's still low when I'm dead.
One of the most important as well. And you can tell this day
like they be reloading that 9-9 so motherfucking fast. Like they got fast reload on that bitch.
Video played. Probably been waiting to showcase that. He's shown his food. He's shown his cooking.
Damn, look how he was moving, baby.
What a talented individual. They'll be heading to play tomorrow. Zephyr, though, you had another idea of who you thought stood out for your monster.
It seemed like it take my reload 3
It's been
business
a slow
days.
climb for
Shit.
them, but for KCP, I look towards Zane as one of the biggest figureheads for why we see this team succeed today. And to highlight that, I want to go back and look at this composition. Obviously,
Damn,
they're rocking
Binks
with
in
the
the sky.
Catalyst Newcastle, and for anyone who obviously doesn't know, this is as defensive as it gets. It allows for so many options, but where it falters is a lot of its rotational abilities, especially in that micro game, and that's where Zane comes in so many scenarios. Being on this horizon, he is the bridge, the gap that allows this roster to find tempo where in situations it could be cornered here. On top of that, he is also the delivering hammer here for the KCP roster. He tops out on the damage charts in today's elimination round at over 8,000 damage. It may not be the kills, but you could not have gone anywhere in this lobby without being at the hands or the threat of Zane.
Like he not even
saw the star earlier on this year, decided to pick him up after his performance, and it certainly was a good decision. They are still playing, and they have a trio as well who have at times struggled getting all of their players here. But graceful. All those 2 stories, good to talk about. I know you've got one yourself for your Monster Energy MVP.
My Monster Energy MVP goes to none other than the guy who internalized movement, Yuka F. This guy got the movement everybody's been dreaming about, right? Not only does he have movement, he's actually #1 for KD in this series by 3.50. That's more than most people have in ranked and pubs. It is crazy how well he's expanding on in this tournament, how he's popping off, right? Not only that, he also is tied first for knockdowns. That means he's actually in first, doing the damage, taking the heat, but he's also not taking that much damage. He knows how to strafe properly, even against roller players and whatnot. He still knows how to strafe properly, minimize the damage taken, but staying so aggressively and hard to hit, he's buying so much time for his teammates to join in on the fight. He goes in, takes the heat, his teammates cleans up. He's doing so well.
Hey, they've been busting
well, when it comes to Fnatic,
that's what made me want to start picking it up
that
more.
Description for their fans in a great way because of the passion that we've seen from APAC North, whether it's watching and having watch parties in Tokyo. They have been a mainstay. We didn't expect to see them in the elimination bracket round 1. We usually see them in top 5 situations in the finals, but now their journey to get there has continued, and they have taken at least the first step to climb that ultimate mountain. Tomorrow will maybe be a different part of their story, Graceful, but you can tell that Yuka and the Fnatic boys have found their way back into what feels comfortable and how they like to play in these lobbies. We'll have to wait and see, though, if that ends up being the difference, but we all know for now the difference from these players they have made on their teams.
That's
Those
the
have been your
combos
Monster
they've
Energy
been running.
MVPs for today's elimination bracket.
Nothing more than
Be sure to have
less.
some more
They don't really be
Speaking
fucked
of
up about that
tomorrow, we don't wanna get there
301.
yet, 'cause we still got goodies today. In fact, the man of the hour who we've
the
just been
hip fire,
talking
they
about,
nerfed it
Fnatic,
so
the winners
bad.
of this group, and the man with the schmovement,
They got that
Yuka F,
range,
is standing
and
by.
then they got that up close and personal.
Rain, thank you so much. We are here with one of the greatest players in the history of the game, Yuka. Yuka, I know the games yesterday didn't go as well as you wanted, right? But you guys came in today and absolutely destroyed the competition. How does that feel?
もちろんゲームは思ってたように進まなかったかもしれないんですけれども、もう完全にもう制覇されました。今のお気持ちをお話しください。
まあそうですね。まあ嬉しい気持ちがまあ第一なんですけど、やっぱどうしてもウィナーズからもちろん上がるつもりで今回挑んだんで、まあルーザーズ落ちちゃって悔しいっていう気持ちでなんかずっとモヤモヤしてます今。
Of course, I'm happy that the feeling comes first, but like because we didn't do the the last one, the winners. So I am in between the two feelings, to be honest with you.
That's totally fair, man. Life, up and downs, but you guys handled it extremely, extremely well. So going into tomorrow, do you guys have, without revealing any secrets, do you have a sort of game plan that you guys are implementing tomorrow to make it to the championship?
でもちろん人生だから上がり下がりがあると思うんですけれどもそれほど戦略はもちろんお話しくださらなくて結構なんですけれども明日のチャンピオンシップに向けて何かこのような戦略とかこういう計画を
What
してい
is
るとか
going on with
そういう
his
ことをちょっとお
hair?
話し
His
ください
hair
ます
look
か
like that woman on
そうですね
on Starfield, that one hairstyle for
気
the
持ち的
lady.
にはう
That's
まく
what
いっ
his
た方
hair
か
look
な
like.
っていうのがあるので、明日もこの調子のまま、ウィナーズ上がった10チームが、落ちてくるんですけど、下位の10チームが、敵は少し強くなるとは思うんですけど、今日の調子のまま挑めればいいなと思います。
Well, I feel that we did it very well today, so I'd like to continue with this vibe. I know that everybody's going to do very well next time, tomorrow as well, but I just want to keep up with this vibe.
I love that. I mean, that's the game plan. You got to keep the vibes up. So listen, you have fans that have traveled all the way from Japan to come support you and your teammates. How does that feel? Does that make you guys play better, knowing you have so much dedication coming from your fan base?
たくさん日本からはるばる応援にいらっしゃっている方がいらっしゃるんですね。ゆかさんのこともそうですし、チームのことを応援してくださってるんですけれども、そのようなファンの声援というのはどうですか？力になりますか？
そうですね。なんだろうな、現地に来て遠くて来てくれてないファンの方々のその SNS 上の応援のコメントだったりとか、もちろん力になりますけど、やっぱり現地で大きい声でもうヘッドセット貫通するぐらいの声で応援していただけてるので、やっぱり力になりますね。はい、非常にありがたいです。ありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。
Absolutely.
Baby, I told them Asian showed out, baby. They pulled up.
Lots of energy and strength from support.
Look at We the Crybaby. He don't know what they saying. He just there.
But they are so supportive people here, and then I can even hear their cheers through the headset. So yes, they give us lots of energies and strength.
Man, she got about 7 camera lenses on the back of that motherfucking phone.
That's just passion, that's dedication. I love that.
Okay,
Well,
that's
all
an iPhone.
that we
That
got
gotta
here
be
with
an
one of
Android or
the
something. They got
greatest
about 7
players
lenses
in
on
the
that.
history of Apex. Yuka, congrats again. Best of luck tomorrow. All right, I
It's
will
the
see
nine
you in
for
the
me.
championship. Rain, send us home.
Thank you, Peeps. Thank you, Yuka. Thank you, Fnatic, for your fandom and your support, not only of ALGS, but yes, one of the greatest players in Apex Legends history. There's no doubt about it. Yuka and his team have performed more than most players who have ever even played Apex, and you have to give credit where credit is due. Lovely to hear a little bit of the thoughts about it. And Tiff, you kind of knew maybe going to have a good performance today.
It's almost as if I picked them to win
Almost
this series.
as if.
It's almost as if me and Gino, we were like, hey, we believe in Fnatic, and just like that, they proved us right.
It hurts even more
nice
on this
looking,
side of
though.
the desk with our predictions.
I'm hurting too, man. It's okay. I'm hurting too.
Maybe not quite coming
give him up on my
as
desk.
true on the day of.
Is you tripping?
But final thoughts from you as well. I mean,
Yeah.
even though these teams that you didn't pick, is that kind of what you're carrying into tomorrow? A bit of a surprise with who's going to be joining us into that elimination bracket round 2?
It's interesting because now we move on to a more challenging lobby. Something that doesn't get brought up is the fact that there is a little bit more of a freedom when you come into elimination round 1.
Yeah.
When you are challenged by things like contests, that no longer exists as you get a little bit more of your own choice. Now, hopefully with the tempo and success behind 10 of these teams, they will once again reintroduce themselves to the higher heights, even if they're gonna have to fight twice as hard for it.
Grace, well, looking to tomorrow, I want to get your thoughts. He's right. He brings up a good point. How does the game change as you now, in your next elimination bracket, are not going up against elimination bracket teams? You're going up against winners, finals teams that have just not maybe had a great day or a great series, and now they're playing again to get back to where they feel they should have been. How does that change?
I think from a pro player perspective is that they are definitely having more freedom in a sense of like, okay, we get to brief a little bit, but they are still, like I said, like the whole tournament, you're kind of going through phases of like making your macro, fitting every group. Now you're in lowers, now you got to make it up, or now you're in the uppers, now we're fighting new teams, and you're almost remaking your macro this whole time during this whole tournament, and you have to adapt. Adapt is the strongest thing that you can do, and you're still non-stop adapting. I think people will have a hard time because you have the teams that came in early into winners bracket feel really strong. They're like, yeah, we are the best of the best. We're here to. Whereas you have the other ones where, it was a little bit close. You know, we gotta step up a little bit, and the pacing will be very different from just with that mentality of we just barely made it in, and then the mentality of also once again which map is starting. I think people's momentum will be defined by the first two games.
Gonna be
and
cool
if you're having
outside,
a rough game, the first two games, it starts to
cool
get real sweaty.
So what you're saying is be
tomorrow's
on
supposed to
time.
be cool, which is supposed to be a high of 97.
All right, sounds easy. Let's hit tomorrow's schedule so you guys know when that is, because we do have a lot of action tomorrow. This was a pretty light day. We started at 4 p.m. Well, we're starting at 12 p.m. BST tomorrow because we don't only have the winners bracket, but then we have the elimination round 2. The winners bracket will send our top 10 winning teams to Championship Sunday. They will wait and watch round 2 while the bottom 10 teams will compete against the 10 teams you just saw tonight who have won and made it to another day. That will send our final 10 teams home, and it will set us up for an epic, historic Match Point Finals Sunday to decide who is the champion of the ALGS in year 3. It all begins tomorrow at 12 p.m. And one of the best things that I've heard in terms of news is that there are tickets available. That's right. Open your phones or go to that website by typing it into a browser and join us by grabbing some tickets here at the Resorts World Arena in Birmingham. It is a fantastic environment. And trust me, if you have the opportunity to join us, whether it's your day off or maybe you've just got a little bit more time on the weekend,
Tiffy, and we finna get it right out, y'all.
Ladies and gentlemen, we had to send 10 teams home tonight. Not fun. Obviously, an entire year of work, it has ended here. They will be watching, whether in the stands, back home, or maybe taking some flights comfortably to be with their family and talk about what maybe needs to change.
100 Thieves ain't make it. Oh, yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, that'll do it.
That continues against some big teams as well. I'm talking TSMs, Dark Zeros, Optics, Black Hands, all around the globe. The best of the best are watching and waiting, but not waiting for much longer, because tomorrow at 12, that's when they go. I hope you join us there. My name's Rain Day. Thanks to everyone on the desk and the production. We will see you for the weekend, because the championship, my friends, is just getting started.
Damn, so that's crazy. Love your face. Yeah, we'll be on Kick tonight. You know the vibes. It's Friday night. Let me see who we got on Twitch to raid to. Let's see who we got on. Damn, everybody and their mom playing 2K24. Cammy on. We'll raid over to Cammy. Damn. We'll be on Kick tonight, y'all, doing some custom Apex. I might actually get on early. It just depends on how long it really take me to finish checking out these rest of these braids. I might jump back on after I get the kids from school and play some games before we get on customs. We're gonna raid over here to Cammy, y'all. If y'all not already following Cammy, make sure y'all drop her a follow. I will see y'all later on Kick. I appreciate everybody pulling up for the ALGS watch party. You know what I'm saying? I'll see y'all later.